It's Wednesday, October 29th.
The PCC was satisfied that the investigation evidence showed the police chief acted in a manner that is unbecoming of a chief of police.
Regina's police chief fired with cause after an 8-month-long investigation.
They do not want to listen to the people of the North. They do not want to listen to the people that have lost so much, and they don't want to listen to what they can do better, and that's a downright shame.
The provincial government has blocked an NDP motion calling for a public inquiry into how forest fires were handled last summer.
Hit well to deep left center, and this one will go.
All tied up. The Jays even the World Series at 2 games apiece. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen Swatsky. Good morning. We hope your day is off to a great start.
And you're obviously a little more well-rested because the Jays game didn't go forever. Did you see the stat? Brad Paisley sang the national anthem.
Oh, yes.
And he never had a game go below like the 11 or 12 innings.
Yes, I think that's kind of spooky.
That was a record breaker last night.
What is Brad Paisley doing?
Next game is up tonight. Let's get to your news. We'll get to your weather in just a minute. We begin with this. Regina's chief of police has been fired following an investigation into alleged conduct. Donovan Mace reports.
The board has made the decision to terminate Chief Shake's employment contract with cause.
Regina's Board of Police Commissioners announcing Farouk Sheikh has been removed from his position as Chief of Police after allegations of misconduct.
The board feels strongly that a change in leadership is necessary to ensure continued public trust and confidence in the Regina Police Service.
Sheikh was placed on leave in early April as the Public Complaints Commission investigated the complaint from a member of the public who also served on the board. The investigation looking into 2 disciplinary areas. The first based on 2 allegations that Sheikh used his position as chief to influence the board member to vote in favor of amendments to his employment contract, a claim the PCC finding unsubstantiated, and that Sheikh used his influence to remove the complainant from the board, which the investigation found no evidence of. Now the second claiming Sheikh engaged in a major discipline offense of discreditable conduct, which the PCC concluded as substantiated.
The investigation evidence showed that Chief Sheikh engaged in inappropriate private communications with the complainant over several months.
In response to the report, the complainant issuing a statement through their lawyer saying the PCC's findings of discreditable conduct is an acknowledgement of harm done, not only to them personally, but to the integrity of police governance itself. Going on to say they hope to have open and honest communication with the Regina Board of Police Commissioners about the breach of privacy and an alleged lack of due process in asking for their resignation from the board. Now, as this firing is with cause, Mayor Bashinsky says Sheikh will not be paid a severance, and Acting Chief Laura Lee Davies will continue to serve in that role until further notice. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
The provincial government has blocked an NDP motion calling for a public inquiry into how the forest fires were handled last summer. Over 500 wildfires forced thousands to evacuate. It resulted in destruction of the northern community of Denair Beach, as you know. The inquiry was to determine whether the province was properly prepared, but the NDP motion was voted down.
They do not want to listen to the people of the North. They do not want to listen to the people that have lost so much, and they don't want to listen to what they can do better, and that's a downright shame.
The government is launching an internal review in place of a public inquiry. The findings will be made public before the next forest fire season. This morning, Prime Minister Mark Carney is in South Korea as his visit to Asia continues.
There are many opportunities to build on that leadership, particularly bilaterally between our nations. Everything from clean tech through to logistics, food security, energy security.
Prime Minister Carney was in Singapore yesterday, where he pitched Canada as a reliable trading partner for Southeast Asia. U.S. President Donald Trump has also been in Asia, busy this week, meeting with Japan's Prime Minister. Both leaders will be in South Korea for the Asia-Pacific Economic Summit. This comes after President Trump broke off negotiations negotiations with Canada, says he does not want to meet with our Prime Minister. Turning things over to Saskatoon, we've got an update on a murder trial. Jeremy Dodge, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. Forensic toxicologist took the stand at the murder trial yesterday. Now, Angela Filbert analyzed Akira Brown's body. She testified Brown had meth and cocaine in her system at the time of her death. Brown was found shot dead November 15th, 2022, inside the home she shared with her boyfriend, Andrew Rosenfeld. He has been charged with second-degree murder. Court heard Brown died from a single gunshot wound to the head. Rosenfeld originally told officers that two men wearing masks broke in, shot Brown, and ran off. Now, classes are back in session at Centennial Collegiate today after a fire sent kids and staff home yesterday. Firefighters called at about 8 a.m. and arrived to find smoke coming from one of the portable classrooms of the Saskatoon High School. Crews discovered the small roof fire was caused by some welding being done. Everyone got out safely, but because of poor air quality, students and staff were sent home for the day. Things are back to normal this morning, so kids get ready for school. Daryl, Regina's police chief, as we heard, been officially removed from his post.
That's right. That was our top story this morning. We're going to turn our attention to this. Kamsack RCMP have charged a teenage boy with assault after an incident in the early morning hours of Tuesday on the Kisakous First Nation. Upon arrival, officers found a woman with serious injuries from an assault. She was taken to hospital by EMS. Police determined a young man was behind the assault and arrested him. The teen, who cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, is facing 3 charges, including attempted murder and aggravated assault, and will be in court in Yorkton on Thursday morning. It's back to school this morning for students and teachers in Alberta.
I think there's going to be a strange, bittersweet mix of morale. A lot of people who are probably really excited to get back together, but most people who are just feeling pretty defeated.
Teachers in the province held a rally yesterday before heading back to the classroom. They are being forced back to the job by the province, which used the notwithstanding clause to shield its back-to-work legislation from legal challenges. A citizen-led petition opposing the idea of Alberta separating from Canada has now received overwhelming support.
We're asking the Premier to do the right thing and ask Alberta MLAs to vote on this issue and put separatism to bed once and for all.
Former Deputy Premier Thomas Lukazik and a team of about 6,500 volunteers have been collecting signatures for the past 3 months, asking, quote, do you agree that Alberta should remain within Canada? They needed 294,000 signatures to make it official, but they got 465,000. Over the next 60 days, the signatures will be verified by Elections Alberta. The Forever Canadian petition was launched to counter separatists who want a referendum on Alberta independence. The Toronto Blue Jays bounced back against the Dodgers to tie things up in the World Series.
There's a fly ball to deep left center field. Headed back there. It is gone.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is good at baseball. This just in. He hit a 2-run homer off Shohei Ohtani in the 3rd inning. Jays go on to a 6-2 win. Shane Bieber was sharp, holding the Dodgers to 1 run through 5 1/3. All this following in that 18-inning marathon game the night before. Game 5 goes tonight in L.A. Let's turn our attention to the Weather Center. Those trick-or-treaters are getting ready to go out pretty soon. Are they wearing jackets?
Well, there's good news and there's bad news. So the less good news, let's actually say, is that temperatures on Halloween are going to be below the seasonal average. So yes, it is going to be time to figure out how you want to put that jacket on over top of your Halloween costumes. The good news, however, is that we're getting the precipitation over and done with today and tomorrow. Friday for Halloween, we're not going to be seeing any of those flurries or that rain. So good news and bad news. -5 to wake us up in Regina. We do have some clear skies. The sun not quite up yet. It should be up by about 7:50-ish. Some southeast winds currently coming in at 17 kilometers per hour in Regina and 22 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon to start the day. A few more clouds in Saskatoon to wake us up as well, and 0 degrees there. Now here's a look at those wind gusts today. If you thought yesterday was windy, well, unfortunately we are seeing some more of those winds, and if you're waking up with us down in that southwest corner, we're going to be seeing those the strongest winds down in that area this afternoon. Could be surpassing 50 kilometers per hour there. The Futurecast showing how that precipitation is going to work its way in. So So this system from Alberta is going to be reaching Saskatchewan just into that western border there with Alberta by about 8:30 a.m. this morning. And then into the afternoon, we're going to be seeing how that tracks east, bringing quite a bit of snow to areas just north of Prince Albert there. Prince Albert likely to be getting some of those flurries as well. Saskatoon, though, not expecting too much of the snow, more so of the rain into the afternoon hours. And then as we look forward into tomorrow, also going to be talking about that snow in the picture. Regina could be seeing some very wet flurries tomorrow afternoon. And then by the evening hours, we should be seeing it right around the Parkland region there. And then we are talking about Friday. Friday, we're not seeing a whole bunch in terms of that precipitation in the province, but a whole lot of cloud cover and temperatures going down. So how much rainfall by the end of the day today? Well, we're expecting about 2 millimeters of rain for Regina, about 3 millimeters for Saskatoon, 10 millimeters expected for Battlefords. Again, this could come in combination with some very light flurries there. 2 millimeters expected for Estevan. And then as we continue on into tomorrow morning, we can see that some more rain coming for areas around Prince Albert into those overnight hours. Today's forecast with that precipitation showing temperatures, though, a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday and definitely warmer than that average. 11 degrees for Regina today, 12 for Estevan, 10 degrees expected for Yorkton. As you can see, some more of that wet snow on the way tomorrow as we drop down to about 4 degrees and 4 degrees for Friday on Halloween with that cloud cover for Regina. 10 degrees today for Saskatoon, 4 degrees tomorrow, and then 3 degrees on Friday with a mix of sun and cloud.
A shortage of occupational therapists at Royal University Hospital is causing disruptions to 9 hospital services. A leaked Saskatchewan Health Authority memo provided by the NDP says to cover the staffing shortages, occupational therapists will focus on priority services, including oncology, orthopedics, and trauma. While other departments will see a temporary pause in services, including the emergency department and general surgery, unless there's capacity. The SHA confirms occupational therapy services at RUH have been adjusted due to staffing shortages. It says there'll be a focus on areas that have the largest impact on patient outcomes and the health system. The NDP says these services are time sensitive and calls the situation unacceptable.
So delaying treatment or occupational therapy could be the difference between somebody learning to walk again and somebody not learning to walk again.
Obviously, when you have vacancies, that puts pressure on our healthcare teams. It is the focus of this government, it's the focus of the Saskatchewan Health Authority to get those vacancies filled as soon as possible.
The health minister says starting next fall, a new program at the University of Saskatchewan will train occupational therapists in the province. He says that'll help with recruiting and retaining efforts. The union representing occupational therapists in Saskatchewan says it is working with the province to address staffing challenges at RUH. It also says a nationwide shortage of OTs has made this a complex issue to resolve.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Is there anything creepier than a museum filled with old dolls?
No.
That's pretty creepy.
This is in Minneapolis. Every year around this time of the year, they let their collection of old dolls take over. Visitors also get to vote on which doll they find the creepiest, which is probably a really difficult thing to choose.
How do I choose?
Oh, boy.
When I was younger, my sister collected porcelain dolls, and we shared a room until I was in grade 3, and they lined my bedroom.
One scared me the other day just walking to get the mail. It was my neighbor's house. Oh.
Yeah, they're creepy.
What is this? Thank you.
Yeah,
by the way,
there's a house in my neighborhood that has a bunch of these out on their lawn for Halloween. Oh, man.
No.
A long way home.
No, we're getting closer to figuring out where you live, so we're going to come for your barbecue. Thank you to Halloween Alley for supplying some set decor for us. Appreciate that.
I spent time on my shift yesterday, paid to set this up. So.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. Question of the day. We're asking about your favorite Halloween movie is. It could be scary. It could also be funny.
Yeah, for me, mine growing up, it was always Practical Magic. It will always be Practical Magic. That's the one. That's the one. That is the Halloween movie. Jeremy, do you have one?
Does The Nightmare Before Christmas count? I think that's mostly Halloween.
Yeah.
I would say so.
I love it.
I don't like scary movies, so maybe Ernest Scared Stupid. Like, remember that way back in the day?
I was going to say that one. That's a classic.
You've never heard
I've
it?
never seen it.
Heard of it.
No.
We want to hear from you, though. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan the QR code on your screen. We're back in just a minute as we take a look out over the fine city of Regina. Fill up your coffee. We're just about back.
Both the Bank of Canada and the Federal Reserve south of the border released their interest rate decisions today. It is expected both will drop their rates a quarter point, the BOC doing so over inflation moderation and economic growth. The U.S. decision being made more complicated due to the absence of key economic data because of the month-old federal government shutdown there. It is one of the biggest days for earnings south of the border, with so much focus on AI. The ones to watch will be the members of the Mag 7 reporting today: Microsoft, Google's parent company Alphabet, and Meta. Combined, the companies today represent almost a quarter of the market cap for the entire S&P 500. And U.S. President Donald Trump posted on social media as Air Force One landed in Seoul for the APEC summit that he didn't come to South Korea to see Canada, but 12 hours later, he was sitting across from Prime Minister Mark Carney at a small table at a dinner held in Trump's honor. Now, Trump also said he wasn't swayed by learning that the pro-free trade ads were paid for by the Ontario government, not Ottawa. He said the Prime Minister knew, everybody knew. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's pop out on location now and see what Mike Siona has lined up for us today. Mike.
Well, happy Halloween, or at least it will be in a couple of days, and that's what we're talking about here this morning at Willow Park Wines and Spirits with the one and only Jim McGowan, a trusted expert here. This is really cool. You guys have an event tomorrow night. What, beer and treats?
Correct. I mean, we're going to go all out with some treats, and you don't have to go trick-or-treating to get some candies. We've got some great beers to go with the treats. You know, we'll be starting with some stouts and some sours and everything you think on a beer. We've got candy to go with the beer.
I love that. Who would have ever thought beer pairing with candy? But it makes sense. It's something else to try and perhaps to learn about. Let's start with this Kilkenny, the Irish cream ale. What would that pair with?
Well, most stouts or most cream ales are going to pair very well with chocolate, or they're going to pair very well with some peanuts or nuts to that effect. Chocolate, peanuts being very traditional, chocolates are going to be a little different, but you'll really enjoy chocolate coming through the flavor of the cream ale.
Fantastic. I love that. And then next to this, I mean, I see Sour Patch Kids, and I'm guessing pairs well with the sour.
Well, greatly. You know, it's so fun to watch these breweries, local breweries, come up with these neat products that just always go different ways, and it's just, you're always getting a new flavor. And to bring in Sour Patch Kids with a nice tangerine mango sour beer will just be spectacular. It'll be fun.
Very cool. You can get all of the details, of course, on the website, willowparkwines.com. And hey, we'll be hanging out here all morning long.
Time now for a look at your school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -5, 0 degrees in Saskatoon, though. By lunch, we'll be sitting at 8 degrees in Regina and 5 degrees in Saskatoon. But take a look at those winds. Both cities could be seeing those up to about 50 kilometers per hour. So definitely a gusty day today. By final bell, we'll be at those daytime highs of 11 degrees for Regina, 10 degrees by final bell in Saskatoon. Both cities expecting some of that precipitation precipitation later on this afternoon. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $130.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $105.9. In Saskatoon, the common cost to fill up $134.9, and the lowest you might find is $121.9. Taking a look at the farm markets now, the street price of canola at $567.22 per ton, and the futures price at $623 per ton. Amber Durham wheat at $282.27 per ton, and red spring wheat at $245.47 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 71.64 cents US. In about 10 minutes time, we'll catch up with the latest eliminated person from the MasterChef Canada kitchen. Stay with us, Saskatchewan.
Hello, Tase, Ani. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. Just about 6:30. Hurricane Melissa made landfall in southeast Cuba this morning. Incredible images coming into our newsroom this morning. The storm hit as a dangerous Category 3 hurricane, packing winds of about 195 kilometers an hour. Officials in the country say more than 700,000 people have been moved out of their homes and into shelters. Severe flooding is being reported as Hurricane Melissa moves over Cuba. Right now, the storm is tracking toward the Bahamas. Meanwhile, in Jamaica, its prime minister has declared the country a disaster area. Melissa made landfall in Jamaica yesterday as a Category 5 storm, the strongest to ever hit the island in modern history. The country's prime minister says it will take time to figure out the extent of the damage. He also said there hasn't been any confirmed deaths linked to the storm, but does expect there will be loss of life. At least 3 people died in Jamaica during preparations for Melissa. Canada Post has now laid off dozens of its managers. The Crown Corporation says the move is part of a major restructuring effort to meet the shifting demands of the Postal Service. This comes after the government transformation minister announced major changes, sparking the ongoing nationwide strike by its workers. Canada Post is set to head back to the bargaining table with the union this week. Jury members in the murder trial of a man accused of killing Misha Pavlik in 2006, one step closer to finding out why the police felt they had enough evidence to lay a charge after almost 20 years of investigating. Misha Pavlik died at a high school graduation party in May of 2006 at a campground near Last Mountain Lake. One witness, who cannot be named as she was under the age of 18 at the time, the Youth Criminal Justice Act takes care of that, told court that she came forward with new information after hearing a police podcast. In 2021, the RCMP created a podcast in the hopes of generating new leads. The court also heard from Pavlik's former girlfriend, her best friend, among several other witnesses Tuesday. A fire at a Meadow Lake pulp mill has kept crews busy over the last little while. The fire began around 8:30 Monday morning at one of the log piles on site. No injuries reported, but fire crews remained on scene overnight and were still monitoring the situation Tuesday. Significant damage to the wood on site reported, but the mill itself seems to be okay.
We've had aerial water support provided as well to contain this fire, and so we're just extremely grateful to all the fire crews and emergency personnel that have responded so well and worked throughout the night and have managed to deal with this in a very positive way.
Officials say the fire could burn on for days. Cameco and Brookfield have announced an $80 billion nuclear deal with the United States. The deal will see the U.S. arrange financing for at least $80 billion worth of nuclear reactors south of the border. The deal is part of President Trump's plan to ramp up the artificial intelligence industry in the U.S. The reactors are expected to generate reliable power for energy grids and data centers. Cameco says the deal will support growth for the company's nuclear products, services, and technologies. Officials in Prince Albert National Park are alerting park users, that's you, after 2 elk were found tangled in human materials this month. As Carla Shinkaruk tells us, this is a common occurrence in many areas, and the outcome is often fatal.
Prince Albert National Park is known for its elk roaming freely, and that's why 2 incidents this month with elk getting tangled in netting has park officials reminding everyone to keep wildlife safe.
After receiving calls from concerned visitors about an elk in distress with some kind of netting or something tangled in its face and antlers.
In that first incident, a visitor saw the animal near the Heart Lakes Marina. Parks experts then jumped in.
resource conservation staff were able to safely immobilize the elk and untangle the netting. The elk's been seen around the town site, apparently happy and healthy.
Then this happened 10 days later.
And the second one, a report of an elk running with fencing down Lakeview Drive, right across from the Red Deer campground.
The fact that it's mating season could be a factor for the increased incidents.
We share the landscape with wildlife, and it often means that we've just got to take some effort on our part to take that extra step to making sure that we're taking care of this landscape that we're a part of.
He says there have been other incidents in the park in the past where animals have become tangled, which have been fatal for the animal, so he urges people to be proactive.
As we were looking around, we noticed a few other potential hazards for elk in and around Waskesiu. Parks Canada recommends that properties be kept clear of any kind of entanglement hazards. So any kind of temporary fencing to protect trees or gardens.
And at Living Sky Rehabilitation in Saskatoon, they also see this issue.
We get a call about an animal in distress probably about once a week.
Summers are the busiest with calls like these.
Snap traps, sticky traps, kites, and any other kind of string that gets left around. So it can be incredibly dangerous.
If traps are being put outside, she suggests hiding them from birds to avoid this. Meanwhile, at Prince Albert National Park, they're taking note of any hazards to eliminate risk to animals. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Record rainfall has caused major flooding in central Vietnam. Officials say water levels in Hugh's iconic Perfume River have risen to more than 4.6 meters, while the ancient town of Hoi has experienced floodwaters that are waist deep. Many tourists are being rushed to safety by boat. A group of monkeys escaped after the truck carrying them overturned on a highway in Mississippi.
I've seen 4 to 5 climbing around inside the back of the trailer, but there he sits.
Now, the monkeys were coming from a medical facility at Tulane University in New Orleans. Officials did not say where they were going or why they were being moved. Police first said the monkeys were carrying infectious diseases, but they later said that wasn't the case. Officials did say the monkeys were aggressive and dangerous. All but one of them was put down. Great turnout yesterday for the annual Halloween Spooktacular event at Wascana Centre. The theme was Prey or Predator. They had live animals on scene, interactive displays, even did some dissections. They figure about 500 people came out for that. And over at the RCMP Heritage Centre was a monster mash featuring a scavenger hunt, pumpkin decorating, and a witch hat toss. Oh, look at them go. A neat way for people to get through the doors and learn a little bit about Canadian history in the process. They also have Halloween-themed events going on throughout the week. The Saskatoon Blades offense came alive in the third period for a big road win.
Force to the corner, Lang centering pass, blocked on the backhand, they score! Blades just keep on pressing.
Kasdan Mathis, Cooper Williams, and Rowan Calvert all scored in the final frame for the Blades in a big win over the Tri-City Americans. It was the third stop on the team's U.S. road trip. They're on to Seattle for Halloween. We went over to Spooktacular yesterday, Kayleen, because that's obviously my wife works there, and Mateo actually touched a snake.
Oh, really? What a brave kid.
Yeah, got in there.
I don't know if Sadie would do that.
I did not.
All right, well, let's turn our attention now to the Weather Center. This morning view is brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. We're currently at -5 to wake us up in the Queen City. Sun not quite up yet, but we are seeing some clear skies to start the day. Some more clouds moving in a little bit later. 17 km/h winds for Regina, and winds in Saskatoon currently coming in at 22 km/h. Both cities could be seeing them increase this afternoon up to about 50 km/h. We're going to be seeing the strongest winds today down in that southwest corner. 0 degrees, though, to wake us up in Saskatoon. We also have some precipitation on the way. That's moving in from Alberta. Going to be starting to reach Saskatchewan about 8:30 this morning. And then we're really going to be seeing a mixture of it, as you can see on the screen. So some flurries, that's the purple there. Some mixed precipitation or very wet snow, and that's the orange colors you're seeing. And then, of course, that green indicating that rain that's on the way right over top of Regina later on this afternoon. Saskatoon also going to be seeing some of that precipitation as well, and that could be a mixture. Into the overnight hours, we start to see it rotate. It's tracking southeast. Going to be bringing some flurries to the Parkland region early tomorrow morning, and then later on into the afternoon, Regina could be seeing some very wet snow tomorrow. The good news, though, is that we are expecting most of that precipitation to be out of the province by Friday when we're talking about trick-or-treating. Current temperatures now showing that Melfort up to -3 right now, -5, so a cooler start to the day in Nipawin, -3 in Hudson Bay, -6 to wake you up in Weyburn this morning, -5 in Yorkton, and -1 in Wynyard. Today's forecast with those temperatures showing that we are going to be getting just a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday, but again, still talking about higher winds and still talking about that precipitation. 12 degrees for Weyburn this afternoon, 12 degrees for Estevan, 10 degrees for Yorkton today with a mix of sun and cloud, and that rain falling in Prince Albert up to about 8 degrees this afternoon. Now let's take a look at that almanac and talk about that history there. So last year Regina was at 6 degrees, 7 degrees for Saskatoon. The high today going to be about 11 degrees for Regina and 10 degrees for Saskatoon. So definitely going to be higher than last year and that seasonal average. The record was back in the year 2008 for both cities. That was 20.6 for Regina and 17.6 for Saskatoon. The 7-day forecast looking like we're going to be dropping down in the next few days, including Halloween, so definitely a cooler Halloween this year, but popping right back up for our weekend, and in Saskatoon showing more of the same. So about 3 degrees for trick-or-treating, 10 degrees on Saturday and Sunday, though.
Unfortunately, the home cook leaving us today is... Daniel.
And with that, Daniel Ebanks, the latest to leave the MasterChef Canada kitchen. A top 10 finish for the home cook from Winnipeg, and Daniel, through the magic of television, is with us this morning. I'm sorry you have to relive that, but watching it back, how did you feel?
Yeah, you know, watching it back, I still feel such a sense of pride. I mean, to get in that MasterChef kitchen, all the hard work that you have to put in just to even get to that level, it just, all that comes over me is just the overwhelming sense of pride.
You done anything differently?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I put out a couple of really good dishes. I think I did my best. I really, really think that I was a great leader. I think my teammates said that. So yeah, I mean, I think I tried my best. I've never been a leader in a kitchen before, so I think I did a good job.
Daniel, I've done this job for 20 years. My biggest fear is interviewing children. You had to cook for children, and they don't hold back. Are you now scared to cook for kids, or did this teach you a thing or two?
Yeah, that was the most raw feedback I got, I would say, on the whole show. But, you know, I feel like, I think you may have saw, some of the kids are really excited about the food that I put together, and cooking vegetarian food for kids and them loving it. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. So I think I did a pretty good job there, too.
What a challenge to put in front of you. First you got kids, and then you got vegan food, right? Like these are things that don't necessarily always go together. My kid wants noodles every night if he has a chance.
Yeah.
Unreal. Just what did we not see at home? How hard is it really in that kitchen?
Yeah, that kitchen has so much pressure. I mean, I've been wanting to be on the show since the first season, and I watched every season of every country. I love this show so much. The pressure that's in that kitchen is unmatched. It's easy to say, I'd make that when you're sitting on the couch. When you're in that time crunch, in that kitchen, being judged by professional chefs, the pressure is unreal.
What did you take away from the whole experience, though?
That I can do hard things, that I can follow my dreams, that I can trust myself. I mean, you're really isolated, right? You don't have your network of friends and family around you to support you and that type of thing. So to be on my own, kind of in this space, I can do hard things, and I really feel like everybody, should they have the opportunity to do something that is a little bit difficult and maybe outside their comfort zone, but something that they're passionate about and that they care about, they should do it for sure.
The obvious question is, what comes next for you, Daniel?
Yeah, wow, what comes next? I mean, I feel like I have to keep cooking. I mean, I know I'm going to keep cooking. I know I'm going to keep showing Canada my food. I think that they had an opportunity to get a glimpse of my personality and a glimpse of the type of food that I make, and I want to just keep, creating more food and showing Canada what I can do.
You're beaming into Saskatchewan. We're all, of course, in Regina for sure, cheering on Team Dre, right? So are you excited by what he's been doing so far?
Oh my goodness, I would say Dre's probably the best friend that I made on the show. Not only is he a great human being, but he is an incredible chef. I mean, you've seen some of the dishes that he's put up. He's absolutely incredible. Like, go Team Dre for sure.
I'm sure he'll send you a Rider jersey or a T-shirt or something that you can proudly wear around the city streets of Winnipeg. Daniel, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Appreciate it. You can watch MasterChef Canada Tuesday nights on CTV.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And we're taking a trip to Carolina. It is the Golden Knights and Hurricanes. Late in the second period here. Vegas in the power play. Mitch Marner skates towards the net. His pass in front's blocked. Marner looks to pop the rebound. And Freddie Anderson robs him with his stick. Real nice save by the Canes netminder. Reaches way back and takes the goal away from his former Leafs teammate. That right there, your must-see moment. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, you can see Tangerine Raptors basketball. The Rockets are visiting the Raptors. Previewing coverage beginning 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Regina's Northgate Mall is celebrating 60 years in business. And this morning, Janelle Pai is joining in on the festivities. Janelle, good morning.
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning. 60 years. That's right. I've got CEO Mitchell here with me. Mitchell, we're going to talk a little bit about the 60-year anniversary because this is a massive milestone for you guys.
It sure is. And we are so proud to have Northgate Mall here. 60 years, 6 decades. And what do you do when you're 60 years old? You throw yourself a massive birthday party. And we are going to throw ourselves a birthday party on November 15th for everyone to come. And when you think about what has gone on around here, the memories, back to school shopping, Santa Claus, Easter, how can you not be part of this celebration?
Absolutely. That is exactly right. Huge milestone for you guys. What are you hoping to see coming up?
Well, we have some interesting plans. You know, retail's always changing. From the time the first general store set up shop on the prairies, it's always been changing. There's the past, there's the present, and there's going to be the future. And if you don't understand your past, you don't know where you're going in the future. And if you come here and look at our incredible wall, you'll see the memories of the past, and we're getting set for a real future. But we want everybody to show up on November 15th to join in the celebration. We have fun, we have games, we have prizes, we have a couple of special guests coming, but please, we want you to show up and have some fun with us.
All right, well, lots of fun to be had. And before we wrap things up here, how have you seen that evolution expand over those 60 years, and where are you hoping to see it go from here?
Well, I haven't been around for 60 years, but there's a lot of history around here. Come and enjoy our murals, come and enjoy our pictures, come enjoy our historical tidbits, and we'd even love to listen to your viewers. If you have any memories of Northgate Mall, please get a hold of us through our website, through our Facebook page. We'd love to hear it, love to publish it, because this is Regina, and we're so proud to be here.
Well, really exciting times ahead here, Mitchell. Thank you so much for this. We'll be back shortly. There's a contest coming up. We're going to tell you everything about it and how you can be a part of it.
Wonderful, Janelle. And murals, impressive. Thank you so much. We'll see you again in just a little while.
It's October 29th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Jamila. She's turning 7 years old. Her mom, dad, siblings, and Cookum sent in this photo with the message saying they love her so much. Happy birthday. And turning 5 years old today is Swayze. Happy birthday to you. We hope you have a wonderful day filled with love from your mom, dad, Monroe, and Coco. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Willie today. This shout out coming from your loving family, Martha, Jelena, Vince, Curtis, and Zoe. Have a great day. Also turning 1 year older today is Phil. Happy birthday to you. Coming from your wife, Patty. Enjoy your day. If you have anything coming up that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. Make sure you tell us what you're celebrating, tell us who you're celebrating, and attach a photo. Send those in 1 day in advance.
Your skin is pale white and ice cold. You don't go out into the sunlight.
Say it out loud. Say it.
Vampire.
The Twilight Saga is back in theaters in honor of the 20th anniversary of Stephenie Meyer's first book. The 2008 film that started it all returns today and runs through November 6th, while the sequels roll out for 1 day each from October 30th through November 2nd. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com.
Right now, the only thing that matters is that there's a killer on the loose in our building.
They're leaving the building again. Hulu has announced it's renewing Only Murders in the Building for a 6th season. And for the first time, the main trio is heading overseas, investigating a mystery in London. The season 5 finale just debuted Tuesday.
The Beatles had broken up. And I was thinking, what do I do now?
Here's your first look at Man on the Run, about Paul McCartney's post-Beatles era as he formed Wings with his wife, Linda. McCartney is an executive producer on the documentary, which features rare archival material. It's set to stream on Prime Video February 25th after screening in select theaters. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
What's your favorite Halloween movie, Chase?
Oh, honestly, I really don't like scary movies.
Me neither. Me neither.
I get it. None of them.
I get it. Fair enough. What are you going for as Halloween? What'd you dress Frank up as? A hot dog or?
Frank is he's just going as his general self. Okay. That's my dog. And then I'll show you my costume on Friday. It's going to be one of the most popular country artists out there, but because I'm a nerd, there will be a pun to go along with it too. Or I might just use this app I'm going to tell you about on the show here this morning, because you know Halloween's on a Friday. There's a little more pressure to like go out and do something. You want those photos for your socials the next day too. But also on a deeper level, you just want to sit on the couch in sweatpants, eat chocolate, and watch the Jays game on Friday. So there's an app that will actually just take your likeness, put you in a costume, and throw you into like a party mix too. So you have all of those photos without actually having to go out. Perfect for the homebody that wants those Halloween photos that looks like you actually partied it up. So we'll tell you about that coming up after 7 o'clock this morning.
Time for Sidebar. It turns out the captain of the Regina Pats is a little bit of a troublemaker. Ephraim McNutt decided he's going to put on a cloak, some gloves, and the social media team said, hey, just go stand in with our mannequin and tell us your favorite candy or movie or whatever, and boom, there he goes.
It sounds like he would fit in well on our team. Yeah. We are always pulling little stunts like this.
Producer Nathan's the absolute best/worst for this.
Yes, yeah, he's a prankster.
There you go, there's a promo for the game as well.
Yeah, all right, here's another one for you. Babies usually stop crying for many reasons, food, toys, changed, but this baby, however, will only stop crying for one specific thing.
You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money.
That's right. It's a foot rub for this passenger princess. Big Brother Bear knows exactly what to do when the foot is placed in front of his face during a car ride. Nothing but laughter and love between these two, obviously.
There you go, Nate. There you go, Jeremy. Just throw your foot up there next time your wife's driving and start crying. See what happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? There's just a little bit of defeat. We're back after this.
Rely on the old man's.
It's Wednesday, October 29th.
The PCC was satisfied that the investigation evidence showed the police chief acted in a manner that is unbecoming of a chief of police.
Regina's police chief fired with cause after an 8-month-long investigation.
They do not want to listen to the people of the North. They do not want to listen to the people that have lost so much, and they don't want to listen to what they can do better, and that's a downright shame.
The provincial government has blocked an NDP motion calling for a public inquiry into forest fires this summer.
Chocolate is too expensive, and I understand that the packaging is even smaller.
Your children's Halloween haul could look different this year as the cost of chocolate soars and many refuse to buy it. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen.
She's about to start a fight.
Okay, so I said to Daryl what was with that weird apostrophe in that, and he
Proper
said technically Halloween has an apostrophe.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? I don't like it. Visually, I don't like it.
No, visually it's terrible, but I'll look it up and I'll see if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But I'm...
Okay, I have many questions about that. Let's get to news first, and I'm going to go look things up.
All right, I'm about to get in some sort of trouble. Let's get to news. Regina's police chief has been fired following an investigation into alleged misconduct.
The board feels strongly that a change in leadership is necessary to ensure continued public trust and confidence in the Regina Police Service. Evidence.
The police board made the decision to terminate Farouk Sheikh's contract. He's saying it was with cause. Sheikh was removed from active service in April after a complaint was submitted to the Public Complaints Commission. The investigation looked into inappropriate communications between Sheikh and a former member of the city's police board of police, a member of the Board of Police Commissioners, rather. The complainant alleged that Sheikh used his position as chief to influence them to vote in favor of amendments to his employment contract and made allegations that he used his influence to remove the complainant from the board. Laura Lee Davis, who has been serving as the acting chief, will continue to lead the service for the time being. There will be no public inquiry into how the Saskatchewan government handled this year's devastating wildfire season. Thousands of people were forced to evacuate as more than 500 fires swept through the north. On Tuesday, the legislature voted down an NDP motion for a public inquiry, opting instead for an internal review. Wayne Mantika reports.
A group of Denair Beach residents spent 2 days at the Legislative Building looking for answers into how a wildfire got out of hand this past summer and destroyed their community.
We came here yesterday and we all had a meeting with Scott Moe, and I thought it actually went pretty good. Considering he stopped everything after and he apologized.
Now the government has voted down an NDP motion for a public inquiry into how forest fires were handled.
Was leave granted? Leave has not been granted.
It's not what Denair Beach residents were expecting.
If they really did everything they could to help us in the north, why wouldn't you want a public inquiry? Why wouldn't you want to prove us wrong?
The government has pledged to help with rebuilding the community. The NDP opposition wanted accountability.
The Premier says one thing and does another, says that he wants to be accountable, and then blocks a public inquiry to give the people the answers that they deserve. It's unacceptable.
In place of a public inquiry, the provincial government has hired a private consulting firm to conduct a review of its forest fire response and recovery effort. The government says it wants to learn and take meaningful action. The findings are expected to be made public before the next forest fire season. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Thanks, Wayne. We have our answer on the Halloween thing. Kayleen's going to clear that up for us in just a minute. Prime Minister Mark Carney is in South Korea as his visit to Asia continues.
There are many opportunities to build on that leadership, particularly bilaterally between our nations. Everything from clean tech through to logistics, food security, energy security.
The Prime Minister was in Singapore yesterday as he pitched Canada as a reliable trading partner for Southeast Asia. The U.S. President also there this week, meeting with Japan's Prime Minister. Both leaders will be in South Korea today, but they have no plans to meet. A fire at a Meadow Lake pulp mill has kept crews busy for at least 24 hours. The fire began 8:30 Monday morning at one of the log piles on site. No injuries reported, but fire crews remained on scene overnight and were still monitoring the situation through Tuesday. Significant damage to the wood happened, but the mill itself seems okay.
We've had aerial water support provided as well to contain this fire. And so we're just extremely grateful to all the fire crews and emergency personnel that have responded so well and worked throughout the night and have managed to deal with this in a very positive way.
Officials say that fire could burn on for days. There's a trial happening, a high-profile one in Saskatoon. For that, we turn things over to Jeremy Dodge. Good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. A forensic toxicologist took the stand at this Saskatoon murder trial yesterday. Angela Filbert analyzed Nikera Brown's body. She testified Brown had meth and cocaine in her system at the time of her death. Brown was found shot dead November 15th, 2022, inside the home she shared with her boyfriend, Andrew Rosenfeld, who has been charged with second-degree murder. Court heard Brown died from a single gunshot wound to the head. Rosenfeld originally told officers that two men wearing masks broke in, shot Brown, and ran off. Classes are back in session at Centennial Collegiate today after a fire sent kids and staff home yesterday. Firefighters called at about 8 a.m. and arrived to find smoke coming from one of the portable classrooms. Crews discovered the small roof fire was caused by some welding being done. Everyone got out safely, but because of poor air quality, students and staff were sent home for the day. My kids were very excited about that. Daryl, let's talk about the soaring cost of Halloween.
Jeremy, it's the price of candy giving everyone a fright this year. The multi-year drought in West Africa, where most of the world's cocoa comes from, has sent chocolate prices spiking, soaring. Combining that with Friday Halloween, many people across the province are expecting more trick-or-treaters than they usually get. It's forcing some shoppers to dig a little deeper into the wallet to have enough candy on hand.
Shrinkflation is weaving a thread through all of these conversations now, and you've got a situation in which, because of smaller quantities, people seem like they're getting less bang for their buck.
Dalhousie University's Halloween treat cost report says Canadian households are spending 10 to 20% more on Halloween candy this year. And even though Halloween is a few days away, Regina residents still preparing decorations. A pair of neighbors on Dewdney Avenue East have worked together for years to cover both lawns in decorum and are looking for a big attraction once again this year. Last year, they said they received about 1,500 different visitors who have felt horror walking up to their homes.
So we've kind of gotten to know a lot of the neighborhood and to see other people joining in as well. There's at the end of the block there, and then Fleet Street Cemetery around the corner. So you've got Death on Dewdney here, Ghouls Night Out.
Halloween's always been a passion right from a kid. I enjoyed going out trick-or-treating and having lots of fun. Now as an adult, I enjoy doing it to do the scares and get people freaked out and screaming and entertain it. That's the biggest one.
Oh, they do a great job. Hey, to the World Series now. The Blue Jays bouncing back from their 18-inning loss. Here's Trevor Ault.
And the Blue Jays have tied this series up.
Overnight, the Toronto Blue Jays with a resounding Game 4 victory, evening up the World Series at 2 games apiece.
Varsho's in to score, and it's 3-1.
The LA crowd packed with celebrities, LeBron James and Brad Pitt on hand, following Monday's marathon 18-inning Game 3. Shohei Ohtani taking the mound for the Dodgers.
Strikes out the side of the fourth.
But at the plate, Ohtani was no match for Jays starting pitcher Shane Bieber. Struck out the superstar twice, only giving up 1 hit in 5 innings.
Strike 3.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming in clutch with an early 2-run homer.
It is gone. Vlad Jr. gives the Jays the lead.
He now has the most postseason home runs in Blue Jays history. Toronto then taking advantage of the Dodgers' worn-down bullpen, opening up a big lead in the 7th inning.
Mookie Betts, and it's 6-1.
Blue Jays fans nearly 2,500 miles away back in Toronto erupting inside the Rogers Center, and the 9th inning effort from the Dodgers falling far too short, the Blue Jays winning 6-2.
I believe in this team, man. This thing is so special.
And tonight we have the 3rd game in a row here at Dodger Stadium, Game 5. It is a pitching rematch from Game 1 with Blake Snell for the Dodgers and Trey Savage for the Toronto Blue Jays. The winner heads back to Toronto with a 3-2 series lead. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, Keeleen, let's fight. Why do I have a text that says me getting ready to make fun of Daryl's age and a meme?
So we have settled
Halloween
our
with
debate.
the apostrophe, right?
Halloween has not used the apostrophe since the 18th century, Daryl. So again, I ask you, how old are you?
28 if I'm a day.
All right.
It's still technically, it's not, neither are incorrect, though.
I mean,
that's the important part here.
Not popular since the 18th century, Daryl.
Still not incorrect.
Well, let's talk about the temperatures for All Hallows Eve and what is coming forth in the coming days. I don't know how to speak olden time talk. -5 to wake us up in Regina right now. Daryl is still laughing over there. Mix of sun and cloud as the sun is trying to make its way up. Southeast winds coming in at 19 kilometers per hour for Regina, 20 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon. That morning view still dark there. And this comes to you from recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. 0 degrees right now. Now, Futurecast showing that precipitation that's on the way from Alberta. It's going to enter the province a little bit later on this morning, likely in about an hour's time here. And then we're really looking forward to a day filled with flurries in some areas to the north, mixed precipitation in some of the parts of the central zone, and then some precipitation, meaning the rain, down towards the south. Regina going to be seeing a couple millimeters of rain today, Saskatoon as well, and could also be seeing some of those flurries into those late evening hours. Regina tomorrow, we can see that system as it's rotating and tracking down towards the south. We could be seeing some of that wet snow into the afternoon, and then the Parkland region seeing it continuing on into those late evening hours. The good news, though, is that we're not expecting to see that precipitation on Halloween, just cooler temperatures, and I'll show you that in just a moment in our 7-day forecast. 0 degrees right now, though, to wake us up in Spiritwood, -3 in Prince Albert, 1 degree in South End. Down towards the south, -1 in Assiniboia. We have -5 to wake us up in Yorkton, and -6 in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, we are seeing temperatures a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday, but again, some more of that precipitation than what we saw yesterday. Also seeing those higher winds today. You can see that wind icon down in Swift Current. The highest winds are going to be down in that southwest corner. Could be seeing those up to about 50 kilometers per hour today, and the winds are going to be persisting to tomorrow as well. Now, the temperatures today are above the seasonal average in many places across the province, and also above what we were seeing last year. The record, though, back in the year 2008, that was 20.6 degrees in Regina and 17.6 degrees for Saskatoon. The 7-day forecast, though, showing what you can expect for Halloween. So once we get this precipitation out of the way today and tomorrow, and the stronger winds out of the way as well, winds should be going down slightly on Friday. Temperatures, though, about 4 degrees, and then back up to 8 degrees on Saturday, 10 degrees on Sunday. And in Saskatoon, where we see temperatures dropping tomorrow to about 4 degrees, 3 degrees on Friday, so definitely cooler for Halloween. But again, not expecting to see any of that precipitation. And the good news, temperatures going right back up for our weekend, up to about 10 degrees for Saturday and Sunday. Let's take a look at this rural forecast. We're seeing highs of about 10 degrees today for Watrous, with that rain starting to fall. Some more snow on the way as well for some areas, Meadow Lake included. 3 degrees will be the high. 10 degrees in Kindersley with that rain this afternoon. Stronger winds down towards the southwest today. East End, Cypress up to about 12 degrees, 9 degrees for Rockland, and 11 degrees expected for Pilot Butte. Again, we're expecting that rainfall. Now let's take a look at Paradise Hill, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. Also going to be impacted by that system, bringing that precipitation later on this afternoon. Northwest winds coming in up to about 40 kilometers per hour. And the high, you can expect that around 3 p.m. today. That will be about 3 degrees.
Let's head out and about again. Find Mike Siona at Willow Park Wines and Spirits, getting into the Halloween spirit this morning. Let's see what he's pulling out of the wine cellar. Mike.
Well, here we are down at Willow Park Wines and Spirits ahead of Halloween. And they say don't judge a book by its cover, but today we are judging wine based on the label and the name, because it's all about spooky wines, right, Tracy Gracious?
Well, we do often look at labels first, but behind every label is a pretty cool story. So if you hang around, we'll go to Chile and we'll go to Casillero de Diablo. Do you know what that means from English to Spanish, Spanish to English? Church.
I don't know exactly, but I'm assuming it's something diabolical or to do with the devil.
It is. The founder of this winery had a secret cellar, but the townspeople found that cellar and were nabbing from it. So he changed the story behind what was actually in there, the devil's cellar. And that deterred people from shopping there.
Shoplifting there, yeah, that's exactly right. That's a good way. Fascinating. That's cool. I love that. Kind of speaks to some of those old prohibition stories we heard here in Saskatchewan times. This one kind of fits nicely. I can read from the back. 19 crimes.
19 crimes out of Australia has taken criminals, actual criminals, and put their face on the front for the label. So take, for example, Mr. Hugh F. Brophy. He was arrested for treason, and if he could make it to the boat ride to Australia, that was his penalty. These wines are pretty cool because you can scan a QR code at the back, and it will, as you focus on the label, it will bring that criminal to life, and he'll tell you their story.
That is fascinating. Fits the Halloween spooktacular vibe, that is for sure. And this one looks like there's a little dust on a bottle, but don't let that fool you about what's inside.
Both the Bank of Canada and the Federal Reserve south of the border released their interest rate decisions today. It is expected both will drop their rates a quarter point, the BOC doing so over inflation moderation and economic growth. The U.S. decision being made more complicated due to the absence of key economic data because of the month-old federal government shutdown there. It is one of the biggest days for earnings south of the border, with so much focus on AI. The ones to watch will be the members of the Mag 7 reporting today: Microsoft, Google's parent company Alphabet, and Meta. Combined, the companies today represent almost a quarter of the market cap for the entire S&P 500. And U.S. President Donald Trump posted on social media as Air Force One landed in Seoul for the APEC summit that he didn't come to South Korea to see Canada, but 12 hours later, he was sitting across from Prime Minister Mark Carney at a small table at a dinner held in Trump's honor. Now, Trump also said he wasn't swayed by learning that the pro-free trade ads were paid for by the Ontario government, not Ottawa. He said the Prime Minister knew, everybody knew. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Decorated for Halloween because we're close to that, but
All Hallows Eve.
Right, we're also starting. Speak Old English to me again, Kayleen. A Norway spruce, let's talk Christmas, has been selected as this year's Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. It's a 22-meter spruce. It'll be cut down November 6th and arrive in Manhattan 2 days later. It'll be wrapped in more than 50,000 multicolored LED lights and crowned with a 900-pound Swarovski star.
Ooh.
The tree will be lit up December 3rd during a live broadcast that you can see on television.
I hope they protect that. We're in the era of heists again.
That tree could relate to my Old English.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. It's been around for a while. You do one thing. Question of the day. I'm keeping the apostrophe, by the way. What is the best Halloween movie?
What is the best All Hallows Eve movie?
Doth I protest?
So Kim, we had to write back and say that I'm actually coming over to Kim's house because we got this answer and I said, these are the best ones. Halloween Town, elite choice, Kim. Twitches, incredible. Practical Magic, my favorite. And Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's a short drive to Moose Jaw, so head on out there.
I'm going to, because if that's the movie marathon, count me in.
Knock on the door, there's Kayleen.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3 degrees, and I'd like to watch a movie.
Hey, do you have popcorn? Monica wrote in and said Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, Casper, and Beetlejuice. I did say earlier that Casper was one of my first crushes as a child.
Like the ghost or the kid in it? Oh.
Well, both.
Oh. That's odd.
Jeremy's going, oh. Joe wrote in and said The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And a scary one for Lauren, The Exorcist. Not a Halloween theme, but very, very scary. Some good choices so far. Please write us your favorite Halloween movies. You can text us at 10400. Standard message rates may apply. You can also scan that QR code on your screen. We're going to share more answers in about an hour.
segment that drives producer Nathan absolutely crazy. It's my favorite. It is the morning mystery. We have our whiteboards. It is a food today. 3 clues to get the answer. The sweet treat first appeared in the 1920s as a brand of boxed chocolates. So right around the time Keeling was born. Clue number 2. In 1935, we're getting a little advanced, Rowntree's marketed it as a biggest little meal to appeal to those who preferred it as a snack. And clue number 3, which hopefully gives it away, the size and number of fingers varies throughout the world. So it's a chocolate bar?
A most delicious chocolate confection.
We're still doing this? I don't know. I know like 3 chocolate bars. I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah. Fingers, right?
Yeah, that's...
It was this or Twix for me.
Is there a hyphen? I put a hyphen.
Oh, and now we're going to... Okay.
I don't know.
Now we're going to...
Oh, there's no hyphen.
No hyphen. Okay, well, we're going to call that wrong then, thanks to my Halloween's apostrophe. That was today's morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Time for a look at your school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus, we're currently at -5 in Regina, so a bit cool today, but 0 degrees in Saskatoon. A mix of sun and cloud for both cities. Winds going up by the noon hour, up to about 50 kilometers per hour for both cities. 8 degrees at that time for Regina and 5 degrees by lunch in Saskatoon with a few more clouds. 11 degrees is the high today for Regina. We'll be sitting at that for our final bell. Again, winds coming in up to about 50 kilometers per hour and some rain starting to fall around that time. 10 degrees in Saskatoon by final bell. Again, some rain on the way. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $130.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $105.9. In Saskatoon, the common cost to fill up is $134.9, and the lowest you might find is $121.9. Taking a look at the farm markets now, the street price of canola at $567.22 per ton, and the futures price at $623 even per ton. Amber durum wheat at $282.27 per ton, and red spring wheat at $245.47 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading up at 71.64 cents US. After the break, Hurricane Melissa turns its eye to Cuba after devastating Jamaica. Details coming up.
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl. Here's news. Hurricane Melissa made landfall in southeast Cuba this morning. The storm hit as a dangerous Category 3 hurricane, packing winds of 195 kilometers an hour. Officials in the country say more than 700,000 people have moved out of their homes and into shelters. Severe flooding is being reported as Melissa moves over Cuba, right now tracking towards the Bahamas. Meanwhile, in Jamaica, its prime minister declared the country a disaster area. Canada Post has now laid off dozens of managers. The Crown Corporation says the move is part of major restructuring efforts to meet the shifting demands of the Postal Service. This comes after the government transformation minister announced major changes, sparking the ongoing nationwide strike by its workers. Canada Post is set to head back to the bargaining table with the union this week. Jury members in the murder trial of a man accused of killing Misha Pavlik in 2006, one step closer to finding out why police felt they had enough evidence to lay a charge almost 20 years later. Sierra D'Souza Butts reports.
A group of individuals who were driving around Regina Beach the same night Misha Pavlik died at a campground in the area testified here at Court of King's Bench during the second-degree murder trial of a man accused of killing him. Pavlik died at a high school graduation party in May of 2006 near Last Mountain Lake. One witness, who cannot be identified under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, as she was 18 years old at the time, telling court she came forward with new information after hearing a police podcast about the case that was released in 2021. Testifying, she was traveling with a group of people who parked at Regina Beach the night of the incident and was later approached by a few people, including the accused. Saying, quote, "We were parked in the van. The accused came up to the driver's side. He was really excited about just stabbing someone." Another witness, Daniel Price, telling court he saw one person showing blood on their body. However, it was not the accused. Court also hearing from Pavlik's former girlfriend at the time, who also can't be identified, saying she only became aware Pavlik was at the party upon arriving, adding she was accompanied by a group of friends, including Andrew Perkins, her boyfriend at the time, who Pavlik said always made comments about wanting to fight. Telling the jury she was physically in between Pavlik and Perkins when Pavlik allegedly hit Perkins with a bottle, leading to all three of them being on the ground. Eventually, the fight stopped, the witness saying she walked away. Shortly after, when she saw Pavlik again, he was on the ground surrounded by a group of boys kicking him. Telling the court, "At that point, I don't think we knew Misha was stabbed. I knew he was hurt." Adding, she held his hand, called his father, and then called the ambulance. Through cross-examination, the ex-girlfriend admitted Perkins didn't tell police the truth in his original statement as he was afraid of one of the guys involved in the altercation. The trial will continue on Wednesday. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Israel commenced strikes in Gaza overnight after it accused Hamas of killing a soldier and staging the discovery of a deceased hostage. The Israeli military said today it will resume the ceasefire but will continue to respond forcefully to any violation. Hamas denounced the strikes, calling them criminal bombardment by Israel and denying attacking Israeli soldiers. The Gaza Health Ministry reported over 100 killed in last night's strikes. The annual See Your Future Education Career Fair was held on Tuesday at the Queensbury Convention Centre in Regina. The fair, now in its 28th year, features more than 100 exhibitors. Students in grade 11 and 12 had the chance to hear from universities, colleges, and employers from across the country about future educational and job opportunities.
Well, I would say that, this is a great opportunity for businesses because this is a pipeline. Our growth market here in Saskatchewan is we need labor. And for businesses to invest in coming here and saying to the students, this is what your job could look like 4 years from now when you graduate from whatever program you're in.
Organizers say it was an important opportunity for both employers and students. Grade 11 and 12 students were at Campus Regina Public yesterday for an interactive workshop aimed at helping sharpen their entrepreneurial skills and provide insights to strategy, business planning, and marketing. A chance to get some mentorship as well.
One is follow your passion. If you enjoy your craft or whatever your service or product is that you're building, chase it. And then the other one was a little more strategic, let's identify your target demographic and your main selling features and what makes you different from the competition. And if you don't know the answer to that, let's figure it out. So we were really pushing them to take it to that next level.
Groups were awarded for Best Business Plan and Best Marketing Plan at the end. Officials in Prince Albert National Park say 2 elk were recently found tangled in netting, an issue staff say can easily be avoided. This is the first bull elk spotted by a concerned visitor on October 7th. The black netting was wrapped around the male elk's antlers. Park staff safely immobilized the elk and removed the net. The resource conservation manager for Prince Albert National Park says if left alone, it could prevent the animal from getting food or could get tangled in branches and immobilize them, potentially causing death as well. A second elk was found in the snow fencing with the snow fencing in its antlers. Park staff are reminding you, the visitor, to be mindful of what you keep on your property and share the space with local wildlife.
As we were looking around, we noticed a few other potential hazards for elk in and around Waskesiu. So Parks Canada recommends that properties be kept clear of any kind of entanglement hazards just to keep wildlife safe. So any kind of temporary fencing to protect trees or gardens or loose ropes or net.
Living Sky Rehab in Saskatoon says it often finds ducks with fishing line wrapped around their beaks and bats tangled in human materials. A significant donation will support medically inclusive childcare classrooms at Hope's Home. The Yule family gifted $250,000 to Hope's Home's There's No Place Like Home campaign. The donation will help outfit one of the classrooms with ceiling tracks to support children with restricted mobility. Nursing care can also be provided directly into the classroom, facilitating inclusivity and improving care for all kids. Hope's Home is Saskatoon's first medically inclusive childcare center, caring for 144 children across 2 centers. Saskatoon Blades offense came alive in the third period in a big road win.
To the corner, Lang centering pass, blocked on the backhand, they score!
Blades scored 3 goals in the third period to win 4-2 over the Tri-City Americans. It was the third stop on the team's U.S. road trip. They're in Saskatoon on Halloween, which again, Kayleen, is spelled with an apostrophe, correct?
If you were living in the 18th century, yes, they used an apostrophe. Yeah, Hall of...
I'm keeping it.
All Hallows.
Keeping it alive, baby.
Yeah. All right, I have a picture to show you, though, Daryl. About 4 minutes ago, I went outside, just took this sunrise photo over top of the CTV building there. How beautiful is that?
Look at that. Just paint by numbers.
Yeah, so the land of the living skies, but it just goes to show you right now that the sun not quite fully up in the sky, but it's putting on a show up there. Go outside, enjoy the nice morning temperatures for Regina. That's about -5 right now. Some southeast winds coming in at 19 kilometers per hour and some clouds up in the sky. 0 degrees to wake us up in Saskatoon. Again, some clouds and some winds coming in at 20 kilometers per hour to start the day. The futurecast showing that we are going to be getting some of that precipitation. Hasn't quite entered the province yet, but it is going to be as of about 8:30 a.m. this morning. And then by the afternoon, we're going to be seeing it approaching Prince Albert there, Saskatoon, and all those different colors up there too. So the purple indicating some flurries on the way. The pink-orange color up there showing some mixed precipitation or some very wet snow, and all that green indicating that rain on the way. So Saskatoon and Regina both going to be seeing some of that rain today, and Prince Albert going to be seeing some of those flurries. The Battlefords waking up to those flurries as well in about an hour's time. And then as we look forward to Thursday, this is sticking around, mainly the flurries. Regina could be seeing some very wet snow tomorrow afternoon, and then it's going to be right around that Parkland region there into tomorrow evening. Friday, though, we're looking clear from that precipitation, so we are all good to go for that trick-or-treating. -3 in Prince Albert to wake us up, -3 in Hudson Bay, and 0 degrees in Spiritwood right now. 0 degrees in East End, -1 in Assiniboia, and -6, so a cooler start to the day over in Estevan. Temperatures today, though, looking like they're going to be just a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday. 12 degrees in Moose Jaw, Estevan up to 12 degrees, and Yorkton up to 10 degrees. But what I do want to alert you of, though, is that wind. We're really seeing winds up to about 50 kilometers per hour today in some areas, but mainly down in the southwest corner. So areas around Swift Current there could be seeing the highest winds. Here's a look back with our almanac. Today, the average for Regina is about 6.9 and 5.9 for Saskatoon. So you can see temperatures going to be above that seasonal average, above what we saw last year, but below those records for both cities, and that was back in the year 2008. The 7-day forecast showing that Halloween going to be a bit cool, 4 degrees, so you are going to have to strategize, start planning ahead now how you're going to fit that jacket over your kids and grandchildren's Halloween costumes. 8 degrees on Saturday, 10 degrees on Sunday with that sunshine on the way. In Saskatoon, 3 degrees expected for Halloween, and then getting warmer for Saturday, 10 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. 10 degrees carrying us into Sunday as well, and then dropping down to 8 degrees on Monday.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Let's talk airport as we welcome in the CEO of the Regina Airport Authority, James Bogus. Thanks for doing this.
Good morning, Daryl. How are you?
I'm doing well. You've got great numbers coming in for the month of September. Take us through those.
Well, we're very happy to share with the viewers today that September numbers are in, and we actually eclipsed our 2019 results, which is very exciting for us. That's a benchmark year, as you know, Daryl, before the pandemic. We also had over 8,000 new passengers compared to last year in September. So this marks the third month in 2025 that we've beaten our 2019 results.
What's driving it?
Primarily, of course, passenger volumes, but lower prices on tickets. We're seeing things like the WestJet Ultra Basic Fare Class. We're seeing a lot more events and conferences this summer. Very exciting year, and a big thanks to the Hotel Association and other agencies who are attracting those businesses to come here and to basically call Regina their host for their event.
Things like the Grey Cup, big boon for you guys?
This was a great announcement. Wow, very exciting to see. 2027 is going to be a great year.
Yeah, it should be exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting for you because you keep adding new flights all the time. One of them that you were really excited about and you worked for a long time on was getting direct flights to the U.S. So you're back to Minneapolis, you're back to Denver, and then this whole trade thing happens. How has that affected you?
Well, the news continues to be a surprise when I wake up in the morning and watch you guys and see what's going on with the U.S. But I'll tell you this, surprisingly, despite all of that negativity that we're seeing out of the U.S., there's been a downturn, I think, in travel propensity. People talking about not going down south. But we've seen a lot of Americans coming up here to Regina to do business, maybe to meet with friends and family as well. We've actually seen growth this year compared to last year by 45%. And that's data to September. This means over 15,000 new incremental passengers are traveling between Regina and the United States. And it's all because of those new flights. Minneapolis and Denver, both doing surprisingly well.
And they're using them as a hub.
They really are. And Denver, of course, is a destination on its own, but primarily these are massive connections to the U.S. I think I've shared before, Daryl, but Denver is the 6th busiest airport in the entire world, the 3rd busiest in North America. You can really access most American cities from that airport. It's one of United's biggest bases.
Or Europe. You
can do Europe as well, even going down to Mexico. The connections vary depending on the destination, but it's a very, very strong hub to the U.S. for sure.
We hear a lot about people that are, I'm not going to be a snowbird anymore, I'm not going to the U.S., I'm going to... But then flights to Canada are madly expensive. How can we mitigate this? Are there some tips and tricks?
Absolutely. So one of the things I've done myself and I recommend to all of my friends is to make sure you sign up for the airline's mailing list. Surprisingly, through email or text message, the airlines pump out a lot of sales. I know Air Canada and WestJet do this frequently, as does United. So do that first. The other thing you want to make sure is consider booking different fare classes. I mentioned earlier the ultra basic fare as an example. So if you're doing a very short run, you don't need a bag, you can get some very, very cheap fares out of Regina to major Canadian cities with WestJet. And Air Canada's got a competitive fare like that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else is new at the airport before we let you go?
Yeah, we're making some changes upstairs. Passengers will notice by gates 1, 2, and 3. That's by the Tim Hortons. We've added some new seating because, frankly, it was getting too busy up there. And we're going to have a little renovation starting just after Christmas. So stay tuned for that. It's by gates 6, 7, and 8. We're actually going to gain some floor space back, put in some nice passenger amenities. But next year, stay tuned. We're doing our master plan, Daryl. That's our forward-looking plan to talk about investments over the next 10 years.
Well, that's good. You come to visit me, I'll come visit you. We'll see what that's all about. James, thanks for doing this.
You got a deal. Thanks, Daryl.
All right.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Makers Market and Trade Show is on Saturday, November 1st at 10 a.m. It's being held at the Westminster United Church on the 3000 block of 13th Avenue. And for more information, you can call 306-539-7718. The Mistletoe Artist Spotlight is on Saturday, November 1st at 10 a.m. It's being held on the 200 block of Athabasca Street in Moose Jaw, and there is a free raffle entry every hour. The Glenavon Fall Supper is on Sunday, November 2nd at 4:30 p.m. It's being held at the Glenavon Hall, and adults cost $20 to get in, and 12 and under are $10. If you'd like your event shown here, you can email us at reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca with at least 2 weeks' notice.
It's October 29th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Jamila. She's turning 7 years old. Her mom, dad, siblings, and Cookham sent in this photo with a message saying they love her so much. And turning 5 years old today is Swayze. Happy birthday to you. We hope you have a wonderful day with love from your mom, dad, Monroe, and Coco. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Willie today. This shout out coming from your loving family, Martha, Jelena, Vince, Curtis, and Zoe. Have a great day. Also turning 1 year older today is says, Phil, happy birthday to you, Phil. Coming from your wife, Patty. Enjoy your day. If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure you send those in one day in advance.
All right, let's check in on things at Regina's Northgate Mall. That's where Janella Pye is this morning, learning about the contest you can enter to celebrate the establishment's 60th anniversary.
Good morning. Back down at Regina's Northgate Mall. This time I've got manager here, Cecilia. Now, Cecilia, we've been talking all morning about some of these prizes and the contest that's coming to a close in about 2 weeks or so. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, everybody has 2 weeks left to be able to enter to win some fabulous prizes that are from our lovely tenants. 38 people going to win Yeti coolers, Blue Jays jerseys, some watches, some games, everything that anybody could want.
Amazing. These are fantastic prizes. Beautiful job here. Now, how can people be a part of it? How do they sign up? Where do they go for a website?
Well, the website is northgate.ca, but the first thing you want to do is you want to go and spend $60 in honor of our 60 years. So if you don't have one receipt that has the full 60, you can upload up to 3 receipts. So take one picture of the 3 receipts, if 3 receipts are required, and then just go to northgate.ca, fill in your name, address, upload your receipt. That's it, you're done. And then you wait for us to call on November 12th to come and play the game to win these prizes.
Amazing. Well, some really great prizes to win here. You're not going to want to miss out on the opportunity to grab one of these. Now, Cecilia, one more time here. We were talking earlier about this wall behind us. Lots of hard work on your part has gone into making the Northgate Mall so fantastic for this 60th year.
Well, thank you very much. I just tried to grab as much history as I can to help, let people know about the history. And yeah, this is about 1,700 photos that I found in my files. So each photo is in each panel at least once. So come on down, check it out. Maybe you'll find yourself in there.
Awesome. All right, Cecilia, you and I are going to be back very soon. But for now, that's all from us.
Jason, what's going on the radio today?
Well, we are into the final days here of booking in for Boots on the Beach. Head to Mazatlan. Dean Brody, a part of that trip too. So I'm going to check in with Marlene from Direct Travel on the way. Give us the full rundown of this 5-star Dreams Resort that is absolutely gorgeous and let you know how you could be booking in it today. Plus, we'll look at the origin of Trick or Treat. The actual phrase, did not know this, but it actually started in Regina, which is kind of wild. It's a story of Smelly Cabbage, Donald Duck, and Regina, Saskatchewan all coming together to form the phrase trick or treat. So I shared that for you on our Facebook page too. You can go there and take a look and a listen.
Okay, on Friday I'm going to make you tell that entire story. We'll block off some extra time because I need to know.
All right.
Thanks, Chase.
Sounds good, Daryl.
They say it's accidental?
So we just assumed murder.
We're getting more Only Murders. Hulu confirms that Only Murders in the Building is coming back for a 6th season. The popular mystery comedy series will be heading to London for its next season. The show stars Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez and has taken home 8 Emmy Awards. Hulu is owned by Disney, the parent company of ABC News. And ABC has announced a Scrubs revival. The TV sitcom about the medical staff at Sacred Heart Hospital, which first premiered in 2001 and ended in 2010, is coming back for back-to-back episodes next year on February 25th.
But I'm still counting down all of the days till you're just another girl on the subway.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony is getting closer, and now some new musical acts set to join in on the fun November 8th. Chappell Roan and the Killers are expected to perform, alongside announced performances from Olivia Rodrigo and Elton John. And you know her from Beetlejuice, Heathers, and more recently, Stranger Things. Winona Ryder is celebrating a birthday today. She's 54. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
What is wrong?
Just just in time for All Hallows Eve, a group costume you never knew you needed. Brilliant. All you need is 4 friends and some cardboard. This Calgary company came up with this roller coaster costume for their group last year, and it went super viral. It has over 75 million views and was shown on Good Morning America. It's going to be hard for them to top this year.
That is super good.
I've seen that you can do this for kids, though, if you put them in a laundry basket and then you do like those YouTube videos. Yeah, I want to do that.
Point of view videos, yeah, that works really, really well.
This is a fantastic costume, though.
Before they get too big. You don't want to wait too much longer. Your arms will be in some sort of pain.
Yes.
Turns out the captain of the Regina Pats, a little bit of a troublemaker. Kayleen loves his name. Ephraim McNutt is the captain of the Regina Pats. He dressed in a costume, and then the social media people were like, yeah, go stand next to our dummy here and tell us your favorite chocolate or your favorite movie, and then boom, pounced.
I just think it's one of those names that it sounds like a name generator, you know? It's like you hit random on a name generator and it's like Ephraim McNutt.
Ephraim, we appreciate you. That is the end of this hour. The Pats, of course, are back in action, I think, tonight. So let's get on to a commercial break. We'll come back with your news and your weather forecast, and I'll try to find some more words that are from the 1800s to share with you. Wednesday, October 29th.
The PCC was satisfied that the investigation evidence showed the police chief acted in a manner that is unbecoming of a chief of police.
Regina's police chief fired with cause after an 8-month-long investigation.
They do not want to listen to the people of the North. They do not want to listen to the people that have lost so much, and they don't want to listen to what they can do better, and that's a downright shame.
The provincial government has blocked an NDP motion calling for a public inquiry into how forest fires were handled this summer.
Hit well to deep left center, and this one will go.
Game 5 is tonight, and we are all tied up at 2 games apiece. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Good morrow, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl. Welcome to Your Morning.
And I'm Kayleen. Gather round for your news and weather tidings.
So I said Halloween. I spelled Halloween apparently using an 1800s.
It was an old-timey spelling, so that's the running gag.
Halloween, E''E''N. Anyway.
From the 1800s.
Bringing it back. Let's bring it back to the news for this part of the hour. Regina's police chief has been fired following an investigation into alleged conduct. Here to lead us off is Donovan Mace.
The board has made the decision to terminate Chief Shake's employment contract with cause.
Regina's Board of Police Commissioners announcing Farouk Sheikh has been removed from his position as Chief of Police after allegations of misconduct.
The board feels strongly that a change in leadership is necessary to ensure continued public trust and confidence in the Regina Police Service.
Sheikh was placed on leave in early April as the Public Complaints Commission investigated the complaint from a member of the public who also served on the board. The investigation looking into 2 disciplinary areas. The first based on 2 allegations that Sheikh used his position as chief to influence the board member to vote in favor of amendments to his employment contract, a claim the PCC finding unsubstantiated, and that Sheikh used his influence to remove the complainant from the board, which the investigation found no evidence of. Now the second claiming Sheikh engaged in a major discipline offense of discreditable conduct, which the PCC concluded as substantiated.
The investigation evidence showed that Chief Sheikh engaged in inappropriate private communications with the complainant over several months.
In response to the report, the complainant issuing a statement through their lawyer saying the PCC's findings of discreditable conduct conduct is an acknowledgement of harm done, not only to them personally, but to the integrity of police governance itself. Going on to say they hope to have open and honest communication with the Regina Board of Police Commissioners about the breach of privacy and an alleged lack of due process in asking for their resignation from the board. Now, as this firing is with cause, Mayor Bashinsky says Sheikh will not be paid a severance, and Acting Chief Laura Lee Davies will continue to serve in that role until further notice. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
And breaking news from Ottawa this hour, the Bank of Canada has announced it's cutting its key lending rate. As expected, the rate now sitting at 2.25%. That's down 25 basis points. That brings the rate to the lowest level since July of 2022. The bank is also signaling this could mark an end to the cutting cycle unless the outlook for inflation and the economy changes. The provincial government has blocked an NDP motion calling for a public inquiry into how forest fires were handled this summer. Over 500 wildfires forced thousands to evacuate and resulted in the destruction of the northern community of Denair Beach. The inquiry was to determine whether the province was properly prepared, but the NDP motion was voted down.
They do not want to listen to the people of the north. They do not want to listen to the people that have lost so much, and they don't want to listen to what they can do better, and that's a downright shame.
The government is launching an internal review in place of a public inquiry, and the findings will be made public before next wildfire season. Prime Minister Mark Carney is in South Korea, the final leg of a three-country trip aimed at showcasing Canada to the growing markets in Asia. But earlier today, the Prime Minister and U.S. President were guests at a dinner party hosted by the South Korean president, and the two men were face-to-face.
How was dinner, Prime Minister? You chat with the president at all, sir?
Very good. Had a very good conversation.
Carney is attending the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum along with the President of the U.S. The dinner marked the first time the two were in the same room since Trump announced he was terminating trade talks with Canada and later threatened to impose an additional 10% tariff on our country in response to the Ontario anti-tariff ad. Meantime, the U.S. ambassador to Canada reportedly lashed out at Ontario's trade representative at an event in Ottawa on Monday. Sources tell CTV News there was an unpleasant exchange between Pete Hoekstra and Ontario's Washington Trade Representative David Patterson. The sources say the U.S. ambassador hurled insults and swore over Ontario's anti-tariff ad. Peterson was said to be calm during the tirade. Last week, U.S. President Trump abruptly ended trade talks, as you know, over that ad and announced a possible additional tariff. A trial is going on in Saskatoon, a pretty high-profile one. Jeremy Dodge is all over that. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, Daryl, a forensic toxicologist took the stand at the murder trial yesterday. Angela Filbert analyzed Nakira Brown's body, and she testified Brown had meth and cocaine in her system at the time of her death. Brown was found shot dead November 15, 2022, inside the home she shared with her boyfriend, Andrew Rosenfeld. He's been charged with second-degree murder. Court heard Brown died from a single gunshot wound to the head. Rosenfeld originally told officers two men wearing masks broke in, shot Brown, and ran off. And students are back at Centennial Collegiate this morning after a fire sent kids and staff home yesterday. Firefighters called about 8 a.m. and arrived to find smoke coming from one of the portable classrooms. Crews discovered the small roof fire was caused by some welding being done. Everybody got out safely, but because of poor air quality, students and staff were sent home for the day. But as we said, things back to normal this morning. All right, Daryl, the cost of All Hallows Eve confections and chocolate going up.
Yeah, the bill might be the one giving you the fright this year, Jeremy. Keenan Sorokon with what's driving the cost.
I was just wondering, Spooky season started a little early this year for Halloween shoppers looking to stock up before Friday.
The treats are smaller. Everything is, there's fewer in a bag and they're more expensive.
Dalhousie University's annual Halloween treat cost report says Canadian households are spending 10 to 20% more on Halloween candy this year. And there's a few forces coming to a head that's driving that price increase. West Africa, which supplies most of the world's cocoa, was hit with heavy rains and in 2023 and drought in 2024, dwindling the supply. Add that on top of increased demand because of Halloween falling on a Friday, and it further increases the price.
The combination now of some global cocoa production that's been reduced, along with demand that's going up, is creating a real price crunch right now.
Companies counteract this by offering less for similar prices.
Shrinkflation is weaving a thread through all of these conversations now, and you've got a situation in which, because of smaller quantities, people seem like they're getting less bang for their buck.
But with Halloween just days away, shoppers are finding a way to justify the price out of fear of not having any candy when the trick-or-treaters come knocking.
It's a little expensive, but I mean, it's once a year.
Candy is candy.
Yeah.
So
you gotta have
I'm going to buy it.
Will there be wonders with shrinkflation here to stay and chocolate prices unlikely to decrease even in good crop years if more people will look to other candy instead of offering less?
This is the new reality. I think you're going to be seeing people look for alternative ways, for alternative treats to provide that may not be such a claim on the pocketbook.
Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Toronto Blue Jays bounced back last night, tying up the World Series.
There's a fly ball to deep left center field. Headed back there. It is gone.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a two-run homer off Shohei Ohtani in the third inning. Jays go on to beat the Dodgers 6-2. Game 5 is tonight. Then the series will shift back to Toronto. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture. Kayleen Sawatsky standing by. Good morrow.
Good morrow, Daryl. This morning view is brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you if you are looking forward to Halloween. Well, we're not seeing any of that precipitation we're going to be seeing today or tomorrow for Friday, but it is going to be a bit chilly, so I hope that Halloween costume fits a jacket over top of it. -4 right now to wake us up in Regina. Some southeast winds coming in at 24 kilometers per hour to start the day. 2 degrees in Saskatoon, a few clouds there as well, and the winds currently coming in at 20 kilometers per hour. Today's wind gusts going to be increasing, though, especially down in that southwest corner where we could be seeing winds surpassing 50 kilometers per hour. Regina and Saskatoon could also be seeing that later on into the afternoon. More likely, though, they're going to be hovering right around that 40 kilometer per hour mark into the later parts of the afternoon. Now, the Futurecast showing that we are going to be seeing some precipitation entering the province very shortly here. We're going to be seeing some snow up in the north, some mixed precipitation through some parts of the central zones, and then of course some of that rain falling down towards the south. And this isn't just impacting us during the afternoon, it's going to be continuing on into the overnight hours in some places, rotating, tracking down towards the south, and then still seeing some of those wet flurries into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening right around the Parkland region as well. That's going to be the last area to really be seeing it. If you're wondering how much precipitation, well, by the end of the day today, we're going to be seeing about 3 millimeters for Regina, 3 as well for Saskatoon, 10 millimeters expected for the Battlefords, and then Prince Albert 4 millimeters. But that number does continue to climb as we look into tomorrow morning. So overnight, still going to be seeing that precipitation falling. Current temperatures now, we're seeing Nipawin at -4, -2 for Hudson Bay, and 1 degree in Spiritwood, 1 degree in East End this hour, -5 in Yorkton, and 2 degrees to wake us up in Kindersley and Saskatoon. Later on this afternoon, we are going to be seeing some temperatures just a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday. This is also above that seasonal average, keep in mind, but we are seeing those higher winds today, of course, and that precipitation falling, so that could put a damper on things. Tomorrow, as we mentioned, Regina could be seeing that wet snow still. Thankfully, that system going to be fully out of the province by Friday, so we're going to be seeing some cloud cover for Halloween, 4 degrees, 8 degrees on Saturday, and 10 degrees on Sunday, so things are warming up for the weekend. In Saskatoon, 10 degrees today, 4 degrees tomorrow, 3 degrees for your Halloween with that mix of sun and cloud, and then getting warmer for the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday up to 10 degrees with that mix of sun and cloud.
On this day in history, October 29th, 1988, Brasseur and Eisler won the gold medal in pairs at the Skate Canada International Competition in Thunder Bay. October 29th, 1958, rescue workers in Spring Hill find 12 more coal miners alive after underground mine explosion. And in this day, 2012, Hurricane Sandy hit the U.S. East Coast, causing nearly $70 billion in damages.
In case you missed it, a newly discovered Dr. Seuss manuscript featuring Cat in the Hat will be published next year. The book is titled Sing the 50 United States. It celebrates the U.S. and set for release on June 2nd, 2026, just in time for America's 250th anniversary. Now, they discovered this manuscript earlier this year at the author's library in California, the first full manuscript by Dr. Seuss to be found since 2015. I wonder what else is hiding in that library.
Well, maybe there's a sing all of your provinces and territories.
Maybe. Well, I was just thinking there's going to be a few people out there that are like, why are we celebrating this? Oh, my goodness. You can buy this kindling. I don't care. It's just fun fact. It's in your library. It's cool. Question of the day. What is the best Halloween movie is our question today. Jeremy's absolutely right. It's Dr. Seuss. It's history.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss. Let's talk about those movies, though. Kelly writing in the original Halloween movie is the best. Not so with Jamie Lee Curtis. I am a big fan. Yeah, that's a really good answer. The Exorcist has come in multiple times on our text line this morning, so that's a big one. I'm not big into the horror movies either. I know you guys were saying earlier you're not really into that, but The Exorcist is kind of one of those classics, right?
Yeah.
Nathan wrote in and said, Shaun of the Dead, hands down. When I said that I had never seen it, all I got in my ear was, oh, it's such a good movie, you would really like it. So I'm gonna trust on that one.
It's great.
Monica's saying Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, Casper, and Beetlejuice, all of the classics this morning. Love the
Beetlejuice
answers.
wasn't even that bad. I thought it was okay.
How do you just say Beetlejuice and say it was okay?
Well, you only say it once. You don't want to say it 3 times. Then trouble starts.
Well, okay, nobody else say it then. Nobody else is allowed to say that. Kim writing in a few of my favorites as well. Halloween Town, Twitches, Practical Magic, and Nightmare Before Christmas. Great answers there. We also got The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And, of course, one more time from Lauren, The Exorcist. Not necessarily a Halloween theme, but very scary. Thank you so much for answering today's question of the day.
A shortage of occupational therapists at Royal University Hospitals causing disruptions to 9 hospital services. A leaked Saskatchewan Health Authority memo provided by the NDP says to cover the staffing shortages, occupational therapists will focus on priority services, including oncology, orthopedics, and trauma, while other departments will see a temporary pause in services, including the emergency department and general surgery, unless there is capacity. The SHA confirms occupational therapy services at RUH have been adjusted due to staffing shortages. It says there will be a focus on areas that have the largest impact on patient outcomes and the health system. NDP says these services are time sensitive and calls the situation unacceptable.
So delaying treatment or occupational therapy could be the difference between somebody learning to walk again and somebody not learning to walk again.
Obviously, when you have vacancies, that puts pressure on our healthcare teams. It is the focus of this government, it's the focus of the Saskatchewan Health Authority to get those vacancies filled as soon as possible.
The health minister says starting next fall, a new program at the University of Saskatchewan will train occupational therapists in the province. It says that will help with recruiting and retaining efforts. The union representing occupational therapists in Saskatchewan says it is working with the province to address staffing challenges at RUH. And it also says a nationwide shortage of OTs has made this a complex issue to resolve.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
That has been a morning full of interesting information for our Mike Siona, and it looks like learning is on the agenda again. Mike?
Well, earlier we were talking about Australian wines, and now we're in the tasting room here at Willow Park Wines and Spirits, still with Tracy Gracious, who is graciously giving us some information on the WSET Level 2 training program that you guys offer. Give us the deets.
Yes, this is for people in the industry, but also wine enthusiasts. If you want to build on your knowledge of wine, going worldwide, finding out why Cab Sav is different from different countries, this is the place for you. This ups your knowledge. You do blind tastings. It involves the commitment of 2 weekends where you're tasting wines, studying wines, and then an exam that follows later and gets you some certification that is globally recognized. So, for example, I took some classes in Saskatoon, but I also studied in China and took exams there.
Very, very cool. So it isn't just a willy-nilly kind of a situation. I mean, it's work, so don't just think it's whatever. But you got 2 weekends coming up here in November?
Yes, November 15th, 16th, and then 22 and 23.
Very, very cool. Well, if you're at all interested, you can find all the details on that on the website, of course, willowparkwines.com, or pop down to any of the Saskatchewan locations for more, and always ask their trusted experts because, well, they're trusted experts.
The 2025 World Ringette Championship is right around the corner. From November 3rd to 9th, competitors from Canada, the United States, Sweden, and beyond are coming together in Finland for the biannual event. Joining me this morning is assistant coach Danelle Shehofen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here. I've got so many questions. This is very exciting. So both the Canadian junior national team and senior national team will be competing for gold this year. What has the energy been like for both leading up to the competition?
So much excitement. The athletes and the coaching staffs for both teams have worked so hard over the last couple of years in preparation for this event. So we've got athletes and staff from all across the country coming together, and we're just so excited to get over to Finland here this weekend and get on the ice together again. For our junior national team, we have not been on the ice together since August. So the athletes have seen each other, some of them a little bit in some of their league play over the past few weeks, but we're all really excited to put on the maple leaf and hit the ice together as a Team Canada.
That is fantastic. And your daughter Lauren will also be a part of this international competition. What does representing Canada mean to her?
Oh, it's a dream. I mean, I think any athlete who's involved in whatever their sport of choice is, the opportunity to wear, the red and white and represent your country is an absolute dream come true. So, not without lots of hard work and sacrifice and dedication. So, she's thrilled to be going, and it's truly a gift to be able to, experience the World Championships along with her in the capacity that I'll be as one of the coaches.
What an incredible experience. And what kind of preparation goes into something as big as this?
Well, we've been at the program as a coaching staff for 2 years. We've spent the majority of the prior season doing scouting. So we were at the rink throughout the country watching athletes. And from an athlete's perspective, they had self-identified their interest in the program, and they were working really hard off ice and with their club teams to show us what their skill set was and what they could offer the team. So in the spring and May, we came together for a selection camp, and at that time we picked the 20 athletes to represent Canada, and we worked together for a week in July and a week in August for on-ice camps. But away from the ice, the athletes have been doing a lot of work on their off-ice training, working on power skating, working with their club teams, and we've been meeting virtually to go over a variety of strategies and tactics and just keeping the team connected, which can be a challenge sometimes when you're working with a team that's distributed all across the country.
Right. Well, this is very exciting. Where can people go to stream these games?
Please go to the Ringette Canada's website at ringette.ca. Information on how to watch not only the junior national team and the senior national team, but also the U18 development program. There will be a couple of games being played as well. So you can find out all the information on how to watch there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning, Danelle. Once again, you can go to ringette.ca to find out more information.
Thanks so much.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And we're taking a trip to Carolina. It is the Golden Knights and Hurricanes. Late in the second period here. Vegas in the power play. Mitch Marner skates towards the net. His pass in front's blocked. Marner looks to pop the rebound. And Freddie Anderson robs him with his stick. Real nice save by the Canes netminder. Reaches way back and takes the goal away from his former Leafs teammate. That right there, your must-see moment. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, you can see Tangerine Raptors basketball. The Rockets are visiting the Raptors. Previewing coverage beginning 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan, just about 8:30, and we begin with Hurricane Melissa churning toward the Bahamas after crashing into Jamaica and Cuba. George Solis reports.
This morning, Hurricane Melissa making another landfall, slamming into Cuba with driving rain and wind. The island evacuating more than 730,000 people, while U.S. personnel at Guantanamo Bay told to take shelter ahead of the storm. It comes just hours after Melissa's historic landfall in Jamaica as a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane with destructive 185-mile-an-hour winds.
Our infrastructure has been severely compromised.
Melissa unleashing raging floodwaters and a life-threatening storm surge, leaving neighborhoods like St. Elizabeth Parish completely underwater. This was the terrifying scene outside a local hospital. Melissa first roared ashore midday on Jamaica's southwestern coast before tearing across the island. This was the reaction from the meteorologist at NBC6 in Miami as he received a live update on the deadly storm's unbelievable power.
Oh, my Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, I'm going to hold it together here.
Visitors at this hotel forced to evacuate to the ballroom, where they rode out the storm, huddled together on the floor. Christina and Tony Malshodi of Iowa are in Jamaica celebrating their anniversary. How scary has this ordeal been?
Oh, for me, it was horrific. It was absolutely terrifying.
Officials warning the damage assessment could take weeks and that the recovery could be hampered by airports that remain closed.
Officials in Gaza say at least 104 people have been killed in a wave of Israeli strikes overnight. You can see Red Crescent personnel working to free people trapped in Gaza City. Israel is accusing Hamas of killing an IDF soldier and breaching terms of returning bodies of hostages. Hamas says it has no connection to the attack, and they're committed to a ceasefire deal that was brokered by the U.S. The discount retailer Zellers is making yet another comeback with a mall relaunch tomorrow in Edmonton. This will be a multi-phased rollout by spring 2026. Zellers will begin announcing new locations across the country. The latest iteration will stick with the original emphasis on affordable family offerings while reducing the kinds of merchandising sold. The new retailer will now take over smaller spaces like a location in Londonderry Mall, sticking with clothing, home goods, and luggage while ditching other past sellers categories like toys and pharmaceuticals. With Halloween rapidly approaching, houses in Regina's surrounding area showing off their creativity. Damian Smith checked them out.
A pair of Dewdney East houses show off the Halloween spirit, ready to scare off.
Happy Halloween!
On Friday. For Angela Appleton, she and her husband have been covering this lawn for almost 20 years. The key is making it accessible for everyone.
They're able to come through either this side, through the middle, up through there, and because our neighbors are in it as well and do an amazing job decorating, we have it set up that they can go straight through between both of the yards.
That neighbor is Sean Hilborn, who runs Saskatchewan Haunt Finder, which locates Halloween lovers in the province.
We're great friends. We haunt together. We have fun. She travels through our yard on Halloween night. We go through hers. We've built a great relationship.
With about 30 artifacts, the walk up to the house can be menacing even during the daytime.
So a bunch of them are on sensors like that. Steve doesn't do anything. He just hangs out and guards the place.
Meanwhile, in Pilot Butte, one resident has created a maze forming her own Halloween world.
We started out really small, just a driveway, but it kind of grew like an addiction.
Verte starts the design of the maze in late August and doesn't make the exit easy on visitors. With different creatures behind every corner, it can take up to 30 minutes to find the exit. This is the 8th year she's designed the maze.
I've got families in town that are now starting to make it part of their tradition, and birthday parties are coming through. But the best is when you get the good old type scream and then followed by the laughter 2 seconds after.
All 3 residents have said that they still have a few more tricks up their sleeve before Friday. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Trick-or-treaters may be paying the price this year as the cost of chocolate rises.
In the last 2 years, we saw
candy sizes shrink, but also there are fewer candies per box. I think we've actually reached peak shrinkflation.
According to the Halloween treat cost report out from Dalhousie University, the price of mini chocolate bars has increased 15% compared to last year. The change is due to the soaring cost of cocoa beans, which has more than quadrupled in the past 2 years because of drought and crop disease in West Africa. That means products are changing and product sizes are shrinking. Great turnout yesterday for the annual Spooktacular Halloween event at Wascana Centre. The theme was Prey or Predator. They had live animals on scene, interactive displays, even did some dissections. They figure they got a little more than 500 people out. And over at the RCMP Heritage Centre, it was the Monster Mash. They had a scavenger hunt, they had pumpkin decorating, and watch this little witch hat toss that's coming up. There it comes. Got it, buddy. It's a neat way to get people through the doors and learn a little about Canadian history in the process. They've got more Halloween-themed events going on throughout the week. And it's good temperatures to go check them out so far. We don't have to break out the parka.
Not necessarily a parka, but Halloween will be just a little bit chilly below the seasonal average. So maybe a light jacket to go over top of that Halloween costume at the very least. Let's turn our attention outside right now, though. A beautiful start to the day in Regina. Just a few clouds to wake us up. Still a little cooler, though. We're at -4 and some southeast winds coming in at 24 kilometers per hour in Regina. In Saskatoon this morning, a few more clouds up in the sky sitting at 2 degrees, so a little bit warmer through the central zones, and some southeast winds coming in at 20 kilometers per hour. Those are going to be increasing for our afternoon, though. And here's a look at where we're going to be seeing the strongest ones. It's those areas that into the late afternoon we see those red colors showing up down in that southwest corner. Could be seeing them surpassing 50 kilometers per hour. Other areas could be seeing those wind gusts up to 50 kilometers per hour, more likely going to be hovering right around that 40 kilometer per hour mark, though. Now, we are starting to see some precipitation entering the province from Alberta this morning. Now, into the later parts of the afternoon, we're going to be seeing that going right over top of Saskatoon and Regina. Some areas in the north seeing those flurries. Down towards the south, we're mainly talking about some rain, though, and some areas right around Prince Albert could be seeing a nice mixture of the two, mixed precipitations or some very wet flurries. Into tomorrow, that wet snow going to be tracking south. Regina likely to be seeing it in the afternoon hours. And then right around the Parkland region, going to be seeing it into those overnight hours and early into Friday morning. Friday afternoon, not expecting to be continuing to see that precipitation, just some cooler temperatures. Now, the current temperatures out there to wake us up, Spirit Wood at 1 degree right now, still at -4 in Nipawin, so cooler start to the day there. 1 degree now in East End, 1 degree in Swift Current, and -5 in Yorkton to start the day. Now, later on this afternoon, temperatures for the most part going to be a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday, above that seasonal average. However, it's that precipitation and the winds that are going to be making things feel cooler today. 11 degrees will be the high in Swift Current, about 12 degrees for Weyburn, and 10 degrees expected in Yorkton with that mix of sun and cloud. Tomorrow, we do see temperatures drop a little bit, so down to about 4 degrees in Regina with that wet snow in the afternoon. 4 degrees for Halloween with that cloud cover, back up to 8 degrees on Saturday and 10 degrees on Sunday. In Saskatoon, we do see temperatures drop tomorrow down to about 4 degrees. 3 degrees on Friday for your Halloween with that mix of sun and cloud. 10 degrees on Saturday and Sunday, again seeing mainly sunny skies, and winds shouldn't be quite as strong as what we're seeing for the next couple days.
Joe Carter and Roberto Alomar. Alomar has already become a fan favorite here at spring training.
That's local CTV Saskatoon reporter Craig Wilson reporting about Blue Jays training camp in 1991. That's right. Back then, local Saskatchewan reporters would go to Florida to cover the Blue Jays. And that means we got some rare comments on tape from Joe Carter talking about playing in right field for the Blue Jays.
Cito has expressed concern that he wanted me in right field and maybe move Mookie to left, and I feel great with that. I'm getting a chance to play here in spring training, get acclimated back to playing right field again.
And how about first baseman John Allrood during this exhibition game, who wouldn't let anything get in his way of catching a foul ball? Don't worry, he was fine, and he talked to us at the time too.
And usually if I do get into a slump, it's because I'm too tentative at the plate or I'm taking too many pitches, and so the big thing for me is to try to get, if anything, a little more aggressive at the plate.
and so did manager Cito Gaston.
We asked a lot of him last year to be our DH, and he came through with that situation. I think John will do the same with having the first base job.
Yes, this was back in the days of $1.50 hot dogs and no button-up jerseys. No, they were pretty much like T-shirts. You just pulled them over. That's right. Scenes of Toronto Blue Jays training camp in 1991.
And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and wood-finish televisions, you can check them out on our website.
All right, well, a really fun one for us here this morning. Today is the first day for the Rocky Horror Show. I've got Ryan with me here down at Sterling Productions. We're going to get a little bit into this. Ryan, thank you so much for being here. Let's talk about your character.
Yeah, so this time around, I'll be playing Dr. Frankenfurter, which is one of my favorite roles to bring to the stage with Rocky Horror. Yeah, just going to be a lot of fun. It's one of those roles that gets some of the most audience interaction, so that's what I'm always excited for when it comes to the Rocky Horror Show. And then, of course, getting to see everyone's costumes is always a plus as well for me.
Really exciting. You're going to want to make sure that you're not going to miss this because it sounds like a lot of fun. What are you most excited for people to see?
I mean, the time warp, obviously. People need to get up out of their chairs, learn some dances, and do the whole thing with us.
Fantastic. And there is a theme for this one.
Yeah, so this year it's Barbie, and I mean, I think after seeing the show, you'll agree, Life in Plastic is fantastic.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ryan. We've got some more characters coming through here. Let's bring in the next. Hello. Tell me a little bit about you and what character you're playing.
Of course. My name is Chad Stanton, and I'll be playing Brad Majors in this show of the iconic duo Brad and Janet. It's kind of like your stereotypical 1950s man and woman duo, but like most things in Rocky Horror, there is a bit of a twist of subversion with that, and it's a lot of fun to play with.
Fantastic. All right. And what is your most exciting thing about this show that you're very excited for people to see?
Honestly, it's less about what people see and more about what they're able to do, because this show is really unique in the fact that audience participation is such a major part of it that when you're coming to see the show, it's pretty much like you're in it with us, and we love having all of our fans out. It's so much fun and so rewarding.
This sounds like a great time. Once again, make sure you're getting your tickets for that. Thank you so much. Don't you worry, the fun's not over yet. We've got another character to bring in. Hello, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Sean Dunham, and I play Riff Raff.
Amazing. All right, and this has been a big process for you guys to get together. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the music is so incredible. I think everyone knows the time warp as it was talked about earlier, but like every song is so good.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see this as well. Thank you so much. We will bring in our next character. Hello, let's start off with some details about you.
Hi, I'm Amanda Rinker-Terry, and I am playing Columbia this year.
Sounds like a ton of fun so far. We've got lots of great details. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm most looking forward to our floor show. The costumes are super fun, and I'm really excited to show everyone our really fun dance moves.
Ooh, it sounds like a really good time. What was the process like getting prepared for this big performance?
It's been really crazy. We've had to do a lot of work, including like cleaning all of our ensemble numbers and learning all of our choreo and our lines. So it's been quite a bit of work these past 2 months, but I'm really excited.
Well, hard work definitely pays off. This is very exciting. Thank you so much. Last but not least, of course, come on in. We've got one more character for us here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name's Chandler Solomon, and I'm playing the character of Eddie.
Amazing. All right. And what was it like for you to prepare for this performance?
Well, I played Eddie last year, so there was a lot of just falling into just that same character again, being a bit more comfortable and just having some more fun with the character this year compared to the nervousness from last year.
Fantastic. Well, once again, hard work really does pay off. This is very exciting. Where is the performance held? How can people be a part of it?
So the performance is being held on the Connexus main stage. Tonight is our opening night. It runs tonight at 7 and tomorrow at 7.
Awesome. All right. Well, don't miss out on this. Sounds like a ton of fun. Thank you all so much for being here this morning. Once again, that is tonight and tomorrow. Get your tickets in, and that's all from us down at Sterling Productions.
But I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I want you less, but I just want you more. So I keep coming back. We dreaming hard, we came so far now. I believe.
All right, let's track down Janella Pyle one more time at Regina's Northgate Mall.
All right, well, we're wrapping things up here down at Regina's Northgate Mall. But before we do that, we still have some more fun on the way for you. Now, CEO Mitchell is back with me. Mitchell, community involvement for everyone here at the Northgate Mall is huge.
We love being part of the community. For 60 years, we've been part of Regina. We've seen Regina grow, we've seen Regina change, and we have a lot more in the future. Whether it be for kids hockey, lacrosse, seniors, we're part of the community and we enjoy it very much. And to be bigger part of the community, we are huge supporters of your Rough Riders, and will always be a supporter of the community.
Amazing. Well, we love to see it. Now, this contest is massive. It's coming to a close in about 2 weeks. Tell us a little bit about the prizes I've got here behind me.
We have a great ensemble of prizes here, from Blue Jays gear, from hockey gear, to luggage, to Yeti coolers. There's everything here. There's gifts, there's prizes, there's going to be some secret gift bags coming. We want everyone to show up on November 15th and be part of the celebration. Be part of Northgate, because you are Northgate. Regina, you're Northgate.
Fantastic. All right. And if somebody's interested in getting their name in for some of these good prizes, how do they do that?
You come on in, visit your local retailer, go on our website, go on Instagram. There's so many ways to get in touch with us, and we'll get in touch with you. And once again, please share your memories. 60 years is a long time. We've seen a lot of changes, and we want to share them, and we want to get that out to the community. So please get in touch with us.
Awesome. All right, Mitchell. Well, it was a pleasure to come out and chat with you guys here today. Thank you so much for this. Make sure you're getting your name in for this contest. Come on out. Celebrate 60 years right here with Regina's Northgate Mall.
Your skin is pale white and ice cold. You don't go out into the sunlight.
Say it out loud. Say it.
Vampire.
The Twilight Saga is back in theaters in honor of the 20th anniversary of Stephenie Meyer's first book. The 2008 film that started it all returns today and runs through November 6th, while the sequels roll out for 1 day each from October 30th through November 2nd. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com.
Right now, the only thing that matters is that there's a killer on the loose in our building.
They're leaving the building again. Hulu has announced it's renewing Only Murders in the Building for a 6th season. And for the first time, the main trio is heading overseas, investigating a mystery in London. The season 5 finale just debuted Tuesday.
The Beatles had broken up. And I was thinking, what do I do now?
Here's your first look at Man on the Run, about Paul McCartney's post-Beatles era as he formed Wings with his wife, Linda. McCartney is an executive producer on the documentary, which features rare archival material. It's set to stream on Prime Video February 25th after screening in select theaters. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Greetings, everyone. The curriculum at the First Nations University of Canada includes various aspects of land-based learning, including a culture camp for their social work program. Now that the university has a new campus dedicated to students and staff making connections to the land. CTV's Jasmine Pelche tells us more.
First Nations University of Canada held an event Wednesday to celebrate its updated Newscast traditional campus.
Of course, there's teaching involved, there's storytelling, but there's also that holistic support that occurs here.
The land-based education campus is located on a 22-acre property north of the South Saskatchewan River near St. Louis.
This land provides students opportunities to learn from the environment, to disconnect from the cities, to engage in meaningful ways with each other, to listen to the coyotes at night, to see the brilliance of the stars.
Before it was a university campus, the land was stewarded by Elder Shelley Bellhumer, who first took possession in 1998.
I don't ever say I own it, because we don't own land. You know, we care for it. We live on it.
It belongs to Mother Earth.
The renewal includes renovations to the mess hall and kitchen, new overnight cabins, new showers and washrooms, water infrastructure upgrades, a permanent sweat lodge structure, and outdoor learning area.
This is a sacred area. I've heard a couple of people say that it was a sacred area. It is. It's been wonderful. I love to see. The good thing about now a university having this is my dream has come true, and I don't have to pay for it.
The renewal was funded through the federal and provincial governments for $2.4 million. The First Nations University contributed $1 million. The traditional campus has been active since 2021 and will continue to serve as a permanent land-based learning environment for university members, students, and elders. The land-based learning environment is the newest of the FNUC's 4 campuses. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, St. Louis.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle is brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
Now to the grandmother known as Crazy Anne with some important life advice. Here's ABC's Danny New.
To her more than 4 million followers across social media, this 64-year-old grandmother of 2 is known as Crazy Auntie Anne.
Anne, have you always been the world's queen of spunk?
I think I've always been a little bit quirky.
For the past few years, millions have watched this former educator in Northern England just have a little silly fun, doing things like pretending to be a DJ at her stovetop. When the bass get bumping up in the club. Or dancing in the kitchen with her granddaughter. One commenter writing, "Oh, so I can be like this when I'm older. Thank God."
The older I get, the less I care what people think.
But to get to this kind of comfort in her own skin, Anne says she had to go through some dark times first. At 44 years old, she entered a rehabilitation center to treat alcoholism and is now 19 years sober.
As bizarre as that sounds, it was the best thing that ever happened to me because that gave me the ability to be grateful for life.
Once she left, Anne turned her life around and got into teaching, spending 12 years educating teenagers about mental health. In fact, that is why she started making these kinds of videos specifically during the pandemic.
When we went into the pandemic and all the students were in the bedrooms, I thought, how can I get my students motivated?
Her answer? To start making lighthearted videos to cheer her students up before class. And now, just a few years later, not only is she quite famous online, but Anne is even now starting to perform her own DJ sets. Look out, music world.
And I think there are 2 ways of looking at life. You can either look at the problem and live in it, or you can go, well, actually, I'm just going to enjoy today and see what it brings.
Anne said not only is she getting recognized quite a bit now, but even her grandkids have been getting asked by their teachers, "Hey, did I see your grandma on TikTok?" In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Oh, man. The takeaway for Kayleen from that was what was in her kitchen.
Yeah, so there was a laundry machine I saw, and I just had to say, is that a thing in England? Can somebody tell me? Do they do their laundry in their kitchen?
Just you know, put the turkey in the oven.
It kind of makes sense, though.
Oh, one little area?
Yeah.
Maybe there's not a lot of room. Let's get to Sidebar. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire is more than just a Christmas treat. A small village in southern France is holding its annual Chestnut Festival. The area doesn't produce a lot of chestnut, but what it does, what it lacks in quantity, it makes up for in quality. The festival, you can find glazed chestnuts, jams, even chestnut candy. The tradition brings in about 30,000 people each and every year.
I don't know if I've ever had a chestnut.
Here we've got a mustard festival. There they've got a chestnut festival.
Well,
but they don't produce a lot of chestnuts. It's odd. I wonder how it started there.
Go look look up the history of this for us, Jeremy?
Roasting over open fire.
Sure thing.
There you go.
Right, I'll get on it.
All right, well, Count Dracula is taking over the London Dungeon this Halloween. The tourist attraction by the River Thames is running a special Dracula show for the occasion. This isn't the first time the London Dungeon has had one of these immersive shows. They've also had ones based on Jack the Ripper and Sweeney Todd.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Very immersive. We're getting close to those Halloween pumpkin dropping from cranes stories.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Can't wait. So close. We're going to go so close. Jeremy, what do you got for us?
Okay, so is there anything creepier than a museum filled with old dolls?
No.
Yeah, this is Minneapolis. Every year around this time, they have a collection of old dolls that they let out.
This is so creepy.
And you get a vote on which one you find the creepiest.
Oh, my goodness. It's the eyes, right?
I mean, every single one wins first place for creepiness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Congratulations to them all.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy that. We'll talk Halloween safety on tomorrow's Your Morning Saskatchewan. Until then, enjoy the decent temperatures. It's getting colder out there.